bit of a difficult time, but Brendan Carlo playing really well. Like, what do you make just of the difficulty of fitting into the Leafs when acquired at the deadline and what Scott Laughton is going through right now?
Well, I mean, yeah, Carlo is, after those first couple of games, he's really been able to settle in. And I don't think that that's necessarily the exception to the rule, but I think it's definitely a favorable outcome for the Leafs, perhaps more favorable than every team will see with a major addition going on to their top pairing. But, credit to Carlo that he's been able to do that. Now, for Laughton, you got to remember, he was 13 years with one team. And yeah, there's different coaches that come in and there's different systems, but you are settled with your family life, with your everything going on in the background. You kind of just, you're comfortable with your teammates. You know what's going on. You're the guy who's shaking Brendan Carlo's hand when he comes into town. Like, you know what I mean? It's, you're that guy welcoming players in. You're not ever in a position where you've been the guy who's now trying to find his place. So I think it's more mental. If I had to, give my 2 cents on it, it's a mental thing. It's your family's been uprooted. What do you know about your new teammates? How is your game fitting in with them? I mean, and the other thing is that Laughton, obviously, he's been under different coaches, but the Flyers are the Flyers, and they've pretty much been, what they are for the past decade, and that's, and also being on a team with expectations is also something that Laughton hasn't had to deal with in a while. Being in Philadelphia, there wasn't a lot of pressure. And to walk out of a team that's rebuilding to one that is expected to be a Stanley Cup contender, and you're expected to play a pretty, important part in that quest. I mean, I think it's just a lot to take in. And being around the Leafs, they do their best to give you every single advantage as a player, but that doesn't mean that, you don't have to go out there and perform. And it's just, I think it's a pressure thing. I think it's just knowing that there's a new system here that he's not comfortable with. I think based on what we've seen from Laughton in the past, he'll be able to find a rhythm. He's got some runway here. There's time. But on the other side of that coin, how much leash can Berube give him, and how much time before you've got to start figuring out, okay, what are we going to do if he can't figure it out? What is our plan B here, or what is our plan C? Because we had a plan A. Scott Laughton was kind of our plan B at the trade deadline. What's going to be the Leafs' plan C here if Laughton can't find his way and they don't trust him to play the role that they need in the playoffs?
We're talking to Kristen Chilton of ESPN ahead of Leafs Rangers. We've got that here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and Sportsnet Ontario. It's kind of related to Scott Laughton, I guess, demotion in a sense, because that third line of McMahon, Domi, and Robertson, they have these flashes where you're like, oh, yeah, you could never take these three apart. And then, sometimes they're a little less impactful. Just the idea.
The prime reason why they brought in Scott Laughton was the flip side of that coin.
So you see the kind of catch-22 of it all, where if you get that third line working, they can really make a lot of noise. They could score goals. They could be hard to play against. They could forecheck. But it puts Scott Laughton in a place of a little bit of a disadvantage. So is it worth it for you to try to get that third line right to make sure McMahon, Domi, and Robertson have a runway where they're playing together and they might actually be a fit? Or is there an opportunity to, mix them up a little bit to try to elevate Scott Laughton, for example?
It's such an intriguing question, right? Because if Berube believed in his gut that third line would work in that way with Domi at the center, he would have kept it. There wouldn't have been the back and forth with it all season. And I think that if it was going to click consistently or not, you'd know why. And it doesn't seem like the Leafs really know why there's two sides of that coin with that line. And it's very interesting because you don't often see that. Like, you might go away from a line for a couple of games and get everybody to reset, and then they come back and they can be pretty consistent. But that group, there's just, it's a roller coaster. It's either they're excellent or they're, you're just baffled that they have these three ever played together. and so I feel like there's a desire to have Laughton there because if Domi is going to be at his best, it's going to probably be on the wing. And so you don't want players not being in their natural positions. But if Domi is the better option there over Laughton, you've got to figure out what is it that, when they're at their best, what is the feeling for them as players? You've got to tap into their insights and what's working and flowing for them that isn't there on those nights where it really seems like that third line isn't going to be tenable for the Leafs. So I like watching them play together. I think they have good chemistry. But you have Lawton there too, and he can be a real difference maker for you. He's shown that, the ability is there for him to be a difference maker in the way that the Leafs need him to be, which is different than the role he played in Philadelphia, but it can be something that he embraces if in time they figure out why it's not happening yet. So it's nice to know at least that Berube can always go back to Domi at center there, but I truly think that if he believed that the solution was already in-house, I don't think that Treliving would have gone out and paid what he did to bring Lawton in.
We got less than a minute, but I do want to ask you about the Kelly Sutherland play from last night. Is that like the most beneficial blunder in recent Leafs history, Kristen?
I mean, I think it's got to be. It's got to be like top 10. If we had more than a minute, we could probably make a top 10 list. And I'd be curious where we would rank that one, but it's got to be up there.
I felt bad for him, but, at the same time, felt good for the Leafs. How about that?
Gives us something to talk about.
That's it. That's fun. Okay, Kristen, we really appreciate your time before the game. Enjoy it, and we'll chat soon.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
That's Kristen Chilton of ESPN ahead of Leafs Rangers, helping us get set for tonight's game. What did you think of the Kelly Sutherland?
Hilarious. I don't think there's any other
I've watched it like
take.
20 times. And
there's no other take. It's just hilarious.
It is hilarious.
I don't know why you'd go to the ground.
I don't know, Justin. Maybe he toe-picked.
Long clearance?
Done that before.
I think he purposely went down.
I know, but just try to give
that was a
an
weird
excuse.
one. Shall we do the Leaf lines for
shall.
the New York Rangers on March 20th, 2025? Nyes, Matthews, and Marner will be the first line. Bobby McMahon goes up to the second unit with John Tavares and William Nylander. Pontus Holmberg, who's moved around. Third line with Max Domi and Nick Robertson tonight, leaving Scott Lawton, David Kampf, who comes back in the lineup, and Steven Lorentz, who scored that goal off the Sutherland play. So the missing link there would be Calle Jarnkrok, who was out-attempted 24-4 in his on-ice minutes, was elevated in the game, but got absolutely destroyed, basically was a part of nothing that was really good offensively. So he sits down in favor of David Kampf, who gets back into the lineup after a pretty lengthy absence for him. It'll be Riley and Carlo on the back end, McCabe and Tanev, of course, with Simone Benoit and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. It'll be Anthony Stolars, after wearing the ball cap in back-to-back nights, getting the start, a chance to land a counterpunch in a fierce battle for the number one spot in terms of goaltenders for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
You must have looked at my player to watch.
He must have?
You must have. Just by the tone.
I mean, I was just telling you who the starter was.
Just by the tone of your motivation station.
Okay.
Can I just
I may have.
Can I just say something crazy that's happening right now in hockey world?
Sure.
I went to two different universities. I went to Dartmouth and then I went to TMU. TMU, the men's team right now, is currently headed into the U Cup, the U Sports U Cup. They're playing the MRU Cougars. They are now going to their fifth overtime.
Okay.
It's been at least 120 minutes.
The MRU Cougars.
They're in the playoffs. So TMU versus MRU. Holy, are you listening? Game is at 120 minutes after 7 periods. Still have some time to go to be the longest U Sports game ever. That was 167 minutes and 14 seconds when the Queens beat Guelph in 6 overtimes, which is the longest NCAA U Sports hockey game ever. So I can't imagine playing that. They're going into their 4th overtime.
I don't like the shootout, but if we would project that onto our job tonight, what are we leaving the office beyond 3 a.m.?
That would be crazy. Yeah.
Maybe beyond 2 a.m.?
So best of luck to my TMU Bold. Like, just grind it out, boys.
Okay. Said without a sticker on the laptop. Dartmouth.
I would love to get a sticker. Okay. They changed the name, and I had to,
You had to adjust.
I had to get rid of some
sticker
stickers.
Collection.
Anywho, let's start the break. We'll do our players to watch. Player to watch. I have one today. Solidified. I'm dialed in.
Which is generally not the case.
No. And you will give us our key to victory.
I will.
And we will see the Leafs, who are on a back-to-back. They've had so many back-to-backs. Will play against a rested New York Rangers team with something to play for. As we mentioned, they're just on the cusp of the wild card spot. I think 1 point back from the Montreal Canadiens, but 2 games played over them. So.
Desperate team. Can you be desperate yourself? Can you summon some desperation tonight? You're the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wow, I'm ready to run through a brick wall, Justin. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll get you set for Puck Drop on the other side. You're listening to Most Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CR-V Sport here in Alliston, Ontario. And with all-wheel drive, plus a suite of Honda sensing technologies, we made sure it can handle Ontario winters. But you're probably wondering, what's with the one-touch power moonroof? Well, Ontario, we hold on to the hope that one day winter will be over. Get ready for spring and adventure with the Honda CR-V Sport. Lease with rates from 1.99% for 36 months, plus get a $1,500 Honda bonus. OAC conditions apply. Made with domestic and imported parts. See HondaOntario.com.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a... And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi-tool that masters every unpredictable weather condition. Visit your local Subaru dealer for great lease and finance options.
Washington Capitals superstar Alex Ovechkin is on the verge of passing Wayne Gretzky atop the NHL all-time goals list. Follow his chase on NHL Network Radio, where you'll hear every Caps game. And Ovechkin scores! Listen to the action on Sirius XM's 24/7 home for hockey talk, NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. And hear every goal on Alex Ovechkin's quest for history, along with exclusive interviews. Just search The Great 8 Chase on the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play. Weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the Sirius XM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favorite club.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favourite team.
The best hockey,
lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
.ca.
This is Molson Leafs Hockey. On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey here on Sportsnet 590, the fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network. It's Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert. We've got your pregame, your intermissions, and your very rapid postgame.
Brief postgame.
Like, just don't blink, you'll miss it. Before we send it to Leafs Talk with JD and Sam, which will be on right after us tonight, we've got the Leafs and the Rangers, MSG. Have you been to MSG?
I haven't. Remember
Loser.
with our Johnny Lazarus discussion?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's such a great arena.
I couldn't even give you the nickname of the arena.
It's,
Most
do you know
famous?
it now?
Most famous
the
arena?
The world's most famous arena.
Yeah, I've never been. I'd like to go.
Well, you can't go tonight. It's a bit too late, but you can watch it tonight on Sportsnet Ontario and here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Yeah, and there's no place I'd rather be.
That's right, with me in the studio. Okay, so we've got a couple things to go through. And let's start with your key to victory. Let's kick things off.
Okay.
Your key to victory is brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game, lease CRV Sport from 1.99% up to 36 months. Visit HondaOntario.com.
Okay, so big surprise this week. Joseph Wall gets the back-to-back starts for the first time since Anthony Stolarz returned from injury. Big news, which means that, hey, maybe advantage Joseph Wall in the pursuit to be the Game 1 starter for the Maple Leafs in the playoffs. A blow for sure to Anthony Stolarz, who is still waiting for his breakthrough, truly, as a number 1 starter in the NHL. So a key to victory tonight has to be mental toughness from Anthony Stolarz. If he is a little disappointed, he can't show it. He's got to try to win back the crease after it seemed like Joseph Wall grabbed at least, 60% of it, 65% of it this week based on what we've heard and what we've seen. So Stolarz coming up big, putting the news of this week aside and just playing his game, showing some mental toughness. That's the key for me.
You took everything I was going to say.
That is true, but yours includes the chance to make money. So let's get to your player to watch, presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
It's Anthony Stolarz. We are sharing a brain. I think there's a lot of, obviously, intrigue with some of the goal scorers on the Maple Leafs, etc. But I never get to pick a goalie, and tonight felt like a great night to pick Anthony Stolarz. I do believe in a little friendly competition between netminders as they try to duke it out for first spot, first night, opening night of the playoffs for the Maple Leafs. And Joseph Wall has edged ahead a little bit. So I'm going to have an Anthony Stolarz night. The best bet that I could find for you was the Rangers under 2.5 goals at plus 140. He's got the second most goals saved above expected per 60 minutes this season behind Logan Thompson, Canada's not invited goaltender to the Four Nations, but will be an Olympian, I hope. And Stolarz' save percentage is above 900 in 16 of 25 of his starts this season. And I think you're right. You nailed it with like the motivation station is real tonight. And I think that we'll see it with Anthony Stolarz.
From a lineup news perspective, the Maple Leafs are making a change up front. David Kampf will come back in. He will center the fourth line. Calle Jarnkrok, who finished the game on the second line with William Nylander and John Tavares, will draw out. He had a really bad night statistically. You don't want to look up his shots for percentages last night. Caved in is the most pleasant way I think I can put it. So that adds another layer, right? You don't see that third line of McMahon because McMahon is up on the second line tonight. You don't see that with Robertson and Domi. That's kind of been compulsory for them staying together. It won't go that way tonight, but Scott Laughton will remain on the fourth line. Pontus Holmberg will be on the third line. David Kampf, as I mentioned, comes back in. And the veteran, Calle Jarnkrok, will have to earn his way back into the top 12. So things are not settled yet from a forward perspective. We'll see if Craig Berube can get closer to his optimized forward units after tonight.
So Leafs are dogs tonight. They're back-to-back nights of being dogs. I'm surprised, too, because they're a much better team than New York Rangers, and they're finding themselves. I understand that a back-to-back stuff, but they're just going to New York. It's not, the end of the world in a sense. I was surprised to see them as the underdogs in tonight's game.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to play the Maple Leafs if you're looking to do that. I mean, this Maple Leafs team, I think, found something. I think whatever way they approached this week certainly benefited them on the ice. Maybe you can argue that Colorado outplayed them, but the Maple Leafs got a victory that they've been kind of getting all year, or the ways they've been kind of getting it all year long, by just hanging in there, playing responsibly, and relying on awesome goaltending. Anthony Stolarz has given the Leafs a chance to win every single night, and Anthony Stolarz is in net tonight for the Maple Leafs. So I give them more than a 50-50 chance. So the fact that they're plus money tonight doesn't make all that much sense to me.
All right. Puck Drop with Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph is next. It's Leafs and Rangers. And the Leafs on a nice little 2-game winning streak. Had 2 games at home there and looking to follow it up with a back-to-back on the road against the Rangers tonight. We'll send it to Jim and Joe next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It comes around every year. People begin to scramble for information. It's a beast like no other. And VSiN is here to help you navigate the waters of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's Sharp Week, and our team of college hoops experts will guide you through your brackets. Want to know who the wagering sharps are picking? Tune into Sharp Week on VSiN, Sirius XM 158. Sharps! You're gonna need a bigger bet.
The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months. Audio mic is on. There we go. All right, what's up, insiders? How we doing tonight? This evening, the morning, wherever you're watching from all over the world. What a day we've had here on March Madness. This is absolutely insane. What a day. The chat is not working for some reason. But come on, where is the chat? Where is the chat? Where is the chat? Reset. Oh no, that's why, because I just went and checked that. Dang it. That's why. See, I just went to check on another game and I just reset the chat. But anyways, it's crazy. Thank you all for being here. Please take some time and check out the link that is pinned in the chat. That's going to take you to our Bracket Mania campaign page. We need all the help we can get with that link, team. I do not know how to use social media that well and whatnot, so please send it out to your friends. If you could share it out. These lives are insane. And that's all I'm just going to say. I'm ready to watch the Leafs game. I got the TV ready to go to start the Leafs stream up. And we're going to have some fun in the chat tonight. Thank you all for being here. We got Pike in the house, Sky's in the house, Pierre's in the house, Veronica, Miss V. Hey, there's Brandon as well. Andrew Hurd. All right. Stefan, what's up, Stefan? Rod. Beer with our new wine cup sticker awesomeness here from TSI Allison, who is in the lead in that bracket pool, might I add, undefeated, I believe. Yes. Perfect bracket. I hope you entered it into the $1 million challenge. I did. Oh, yeah. Woohoo. All right. Well, let's get back to the hockey and the basketball. Thank you all for being here. Please go to that link and donate if you're able, even if it's just a few bucks. Let's get this started. I'm going to be putting in our donation from the Football Frenzy very, very soon. Go, Leafs, go. Let's get the chant started. Go, Leafs, go. Go, Leafs, go. All right. What's up, Brad Smith? Love it. Lynn as well. How you doing, Lynn? Dale. What's up? Stefan, I love it, man. Mark Duffney in the house. I love it. Mark Duffney, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for your support with SickKids and all of the stuff we've done here with this SickKids campaign. I have so many awesome videos that I have to make. I just have been running around going crazy. Yeah. And so has my amazing wife, TSI Allison. So big shout outs to TSI Allison in the chat. She's the bomb, and she's winning the bracket pool, so she's going to design her own custom t-shirt. I don't even know how many brackets we had entered in. What's the total number that we got in? 40-something. 40-something? All right, so 40-something in the bracket pool. Hockey. Let's go. Go, Leafs, go.
Madison Square Garden and then into the Music City as they will tangle with the Predators.
Predators in Nashville, riding the crest of 2 important wins on home ice. And the holders of the honeycombed huts, brought to you by Molson. Molson, everyone in. And it will be Anthony Stolarz in goal for the Maple Leafs, 13-8-3, with a 2.39 goals against average and a .918 save percentage. But he has struggled of late. And Igor Shesterkin, 23-24-4, 2.78 is goals against average, and .907 is the save percentage for the Ranger netminder, a team that was riding the crest of a wave a year ago, now struggling to get into the postseason.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, that they go from winning the President's Trophy now from trying to find their way into the playoffs. I can actually tell you, Mr. Bowen, the last time a team won the President's Trophy and the following year missed the playoffs was the 2008 Buffalo Sabres. Won the President's Trophy in 2007 and missed in 2008. Rangers are looking to avoid repeating that.
So the Maple Leafs are in their road whites, and they'll start Austin Matthews' line at center ice. Marner along with Nyes, and the Leafs will defend the goal. 2 hour left. The referees are TJ Luxmore and Stephen Hiff. Not sure we've ever had Stephen Hiff do a game, but the puck is dropped. We're underway, and we're glad you're with us. The official has not been hit with the puck, and the Leafs have not gotten an assist yet from anybody in the striped jerseys. Played down into the Leaf zone, and the first whistle is an icing call against Toronto.
For those that are saying how lucky the Leafs were.
The Leafs were really lucky, Mr. Ralph.
You might remember a game before Christmas at home against the Washington Capitals. 1-1 tie in the third period. Austin Matthews goes to throw it around the boards, hits the referee. It goes out front, and Washington wins the game.
Well, there you go. So played along the boards, long shot, deflects wide of the Leaf goal into the far corner. Tanev gets it freed up, now looks for an outlet, but ran into a traffic jam over there, then comes away with it again, got it back to the net for McCabe, and he finds Marner, and Marner sends a long left wing pass. It didn't connect, but Nyes is able to gather it up and shoot it down into Ranger territory. Matthews into the forecheck, but can't get it away there from Andre Miller, who comes to center and shoots it down into the Toronto zone. Riley backhanding it around the boards. It'll come out on the right wing, brought in over the line by McMahon, and a shot went off a leg and goes high off the glass. McMahon one-hands it back into the corner. Trying to get to it was Nylander. Now it is McMahon getting it freed up for Nylander. Nylander against the boards, played up on the wing by the Rangers. They're just going to get it to the line and not out. Here's Nylander now with some room. Flips it in front of the net, one-handed to the net by McMahon, but a pad save made by Shesterkin. Rangers get it out at center, and the Leafs are back there again. The Leafs were badly out-territorialized. Is that a term? In the first period. Maybe not out-chanced as much, but certainly a long shot here is deflecting up into the screen in behind the Ranger goal.
Well, only, 5 shots on goal for the Leafs in the first period. Joseph Woll really was the difference in keeping the Leafs in it. And then I thought things were pretty even over the last 40 minutes.
Yep.
Both teams had a number of great scoring opportunities. Rangers, by the way, heavily criticized their last game Tuesday, which was after the Leafs beat Calgary handily on Monday. Calgary went to New York, much like the Leafs did last night. Beat the Rangers 2-1, held the Rangers to just 13 shots on goal. Only 4 forwards in that game, Joe, had a shot on goal.
Laid down into the Toronto zone. Robertson to the defense. It's pushed out at center ice. Pontus Holmberg sends it in. He took a pretty good elbow to the chops. Zach Jones with the puck now for New York. Working it to the near side for Schneider. Braden Schneider gets it in over the line, and a rush shot is fought off by Anthony Stolarz, and the Leafs come away with the loose puck. Brought to center ice and across the line, and a wrist shot taken there by Lawton is swallowed up by the goaltender and stops play with a face-off coming in the Ranger zone.
Anthony Stolarz there gets his glove on it, but ends up batting it forward back out into the slot.
Yeah, he kind of fought it off, didn't he?
Stolarz 0-3-1 in his last 4 decisions. In fact, his last win came February 28th in New York against the Rangers.
Face off in the Ranger zone to the left. David Camp into the lineup tonight. Callie Yarncrook is the healthy scratch. Philip Myers is also scratched, as the Leafs have to go back to recover a loose puck in their own zone, and it's fed all the way out and down into Ranger territory. New York goes back after it, back of the net, played around the boards by Adam Fox, trying to pinch there to keep it in, and successful for a time being was OEL, and the Rangers get it out at center and now shoot it into the Toronto zone. Stolars playing it off the boards. The defense exchanges the puck, and OEL starts out of his own end. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got it ahead. In over the line, Matthews tried to get a shot at the net. It was deflected wide. Marner corrals on the near board, sends it into the corner for Nyes. Nyes and Matthews after it. Matthews lost it, and Marner intercepts. Got it back into the slot area. Nyes couldn't get it on his stick to deliver a backhand. Matthews curling out of the corner, reverses his field. Back of the net for Marner in the far corner. Back to Matthews behind the net. Back in front of the net, and a shot by Nyes is swallowed up by Shesterkin. I almost thought he was going to Michiganize back there, Mr. Ralph. I almost thought that might have been the spot to try it.
Although Arizona's a long way from Michigan, isn't it?
It's, well, all right, let's say he tried to Arizona it then.
What the hell's in Arizona?
I have no idea.
Come up dry?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I mean, they named it after Michigan because the kid played for Michigan, right? I mean, really? How about a lacrosse? I think it's a lacrosse shot, personally. But what do I know? Face off in the Ranger zone to the right. Nylander taking the draw against Vincent Trocheck. Puck is dropped. The Rangers win the face-off cleanly. Played out into center ice and down into the Leaf end. And icing is going to be called here as Riley got back. Morgan Riley wearing the A tonight. That has been kind of a situation where it's reversed and handed around just a little bit. And John Tavares with the A, of course, and Austin Matthews wearing the C. The draw in the Ranger zone. Won by New York. Pushed along the boards by Adam Fox. Couldn't get it out. Long shot. That was deflected wide. Nylander got crumpled in the slot with a high hit to the head. And now here the Rangers bringing it back in over the line. Pass in on the right wing side, looking for a man in front of the net. Trocheck was there, but they couldn't get him the puck. Back into the corner. Trocheck on the far half boards now. Works back to the point. Now to Fox. Closing with a shot. That was off the mark wide. Nylander couldn't get to it. Back it goes to Fox again. Trocheck on the right wing side. Centering pass. Big save made there by Stolars. And it is knocked with a high stick into the corner. And a face-off is going to come with 15:56 to play in the Toronto zone.
You're going to give somebody time and space from the blue line. It shouldn't be Adam Fox. Leafs got all collapsed down around Anthony Stolars, and eventually Fox walks in from the point, gets one opportunity. Will Cooley had a great opportunity in the rebound as well.
Riley knocked it back into the corner with a high stick and then touched the puck. That's the reason for the stoppage of play. Leafs win the draw cleanly. Oliver Ekman-Larsson air-mails it through center ice and down into Ranger territory. And the Rangers are back, but they throw a saucer up the middle, and a shot taken by Domi was deflected wide of the net by Shesterkin. Puck along the boards with Robertson getting it in along the boards. Domi gets it back to the point. OEL with a wrist shot, and that got through. He was hoping for a redirect in front, and Pontus Holmberg and Robertson were in the vicinity. But Shesterkin makes the save, and he'll cover up.
Well, the shot before that, though, Max Domi from the high slot. I mean, this looks like it is right at the crest of Igor Shesterkin, about the G on the Ranger writing across the jersey, and it somehow squirted under his right arm, past his right hip, and just wide of the near post.
JT Miller taking the face-off against Domi. Actually, it's Scott Lawton who is out there now for the Leafs taking the face-off. Lawton with Camp and scoring hero from last night, Steven Lorenz, took advantage of the assist from the official to score a shorty to win the game. Boy, this is taking forever. Today, and they finally dropped the puck, and Lorenz gets it back to the point. Oliver Ekman-Larsson ringing it around the boards. Lawton got there but couldn't keep it in. Rangers have feathered it down into the Toronto zone. OEL goes back, ran out of real estate but gave it to his defense, and it's played up on the left wing now, and the Leafs will break it in on the right side. Here's Lawton trying to play it in on the backhand, and that went just wide. Lorenz couldn't get it but gets it around the boards to the near side. Carlo sends it around back of the net. Lawton on the end boards trying to dig it free. David Camp trying to help out. Camp against the boards, unable to make a play. Backhanded by the Rangers, and it's out at center ice, and big Brandon Carlo goes back to try and find his defense partner, and Benoit will return the favor. Carlo playing it off the boards and out at center ice, but it ends up going into the Toronto bench. So with 14:39 to go, face-off coming in the Toronto zone to the left of goaltender Anthony Stolarz.
If you're looking for that desperation start from the New York Rangers, I don't think we've seen this. So I think from a Leaf standpoint, look after defense first, keep them to the outside. Just 3 shots on goal for the Rangers so far to the Leafs 5.
Rangers win the face-off, got it into the corner. It goes around back of the net. Reversed again to the far side for Miller. Miller loses it to Nyes, and Nyes comes down the left wing and is going to pound it in around the boards and into the near corner. Matthews first there. Marner trying to help out, but the Rangers dig it out. Here's Miller backhanding it back down into the Toronto zone. His numerical counterpart, Chris Tanev, blocks a centering pass. Nyes back of the goal. Tanev has it in his skates. Nyes trying to dig it free, and he has. Now trying to make a play up in the wing, but it comes to the point, but not cleared. Over on the near side now from Andre Miller. Shot was blocked in front of the net. Leafs getting it ahead, but not out. Kept alive on the far side by New York. Long shot is into the chest of Stolarz, and he is going to hang on, and the faceoff will come in the Toronto zone. The Leafs goaltending overall this year has been very good. And there have been moments where it has just been ordinary or normal, but overall it has been excellent. But who starts game 1 of the playoffs? And that's what the competition is all about down the stretch. It is a 0-0 tie. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's rock you can feel deep down in your soul. Songs that remind us of where we've been. And inspire us to keep going. It's SiriusXM Southern Rock. I'm ready for it. And it's one of over 200 channels you can hear anytime with the SiriusXM app on your phone or at home on your computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Their leaders are Reinhart, Tkachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General Manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not, and then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite team.
Leafs Radio Network.
Steven Lorenz has not been a prolific scorer for the Maple Leafs. He just has 6, including the shorthanded goal the other night. But he has won 3 games with his goals, game winners. We get an icing call here against Toronto.
An interesting stat, though, as well, is he's got the exact same numbers as Pontus Holmberg, who has been given the opportunity to play with John Tavares and Willie Nylander. So when you think that Steven Lorentz has been a fourth-line player all season long in a penalty killer role, those aren't bad numbers, are they?
Nope. Fed down in back of the Toronto goal. Stolarz got it into the corner. The Leafs get it down off a stick and down into the Toronto zone. And now played around the boards. It'll come up on the near wing and flipped out at center ice, and icing waved off, and Benoit sends it back into the corner, and the Leafs trying to come out with it, and it'll be pushed ahead and just knifed to the line by Tavares, but not cleared. Now a backhand goes off a glove, and that is grabbed off by Toronto. Brought to center ice and shot into the zone. Round on the boards, it'll come to the near wing and goes back of the net. Tavares couldn't get to it, and it is launched high to center ice, and Toronto has it again. 12:55 to go in a scoreless first period. Riley for Oliver Ekman-Larsson to Pontus Holmberg. Back into the Toronto zone, trying to stretch things out. Works to the far boards, being hounded there by Brodzinski. The Leafs get it out at center, but a pass is intercepted and now brought back in over the line by Kreider. A long shot stopped there by Stolarz. The puck into the far corner. Round back of the net. Kreider goes to the front of the net, but the pass doesn't reach him, and Domi has elevated high to center ice. And a whistle here to stop play on a glove pass that will be brought back into the center ice area.
We talk so much about teams having back-to-back games. I don't hear a lot of how many times you play a team in the second of back-to-backs. Right? So the Rangers now play Calgary in the second of back-to-backs at home, have a day off, then play the Leafs second of back-to-backs, which you would think should be as much as a favorable schedule as it is the opposite for teams having to. What did we say, the Leafs 18 back-to-backs this year?
16.
16, yeah.
This is number 13, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is... no, this would be the 14th one. Back down into the Toronto zone. Back of the net goes David Camp. He runs out of real estate, tried to make a backhand pass and a centering feed. This shot off the stick of Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who saves a goal there. Brett Berard got it away, but it was off OEL and up into the screen.
And Anthony Stolarz had no idea where that puck was. You saw by his reaction. He did the quick glance over his left shoulder, then back at Oliver Ekman-Larsson, but that puck, fortunately, from a Leaf standpoint, never did get to the net.
Now, this is the 13th of 16 back-to-back games for the Maple Leafs.
If I'm not mistaken, it's like an Anaheim, LA back-to-back and Florida, Tampa.
Yep. Go out of the right in the Leaf zone. One by a shot, good save there with the blocker by Stolarz on a shot from the slot area by Miller. Leafs don't get it out. Kept alive and in by Zibanejad. And the Leafs come away with the loose puck in the corner, but now Tanev is tied up, but he got the puck free. And Jake McCabe very coolly carries to center and has it deflect off a stick in on goaltender Shesterkin, who sends a long alley-oop through center ice, and a whistle as it is caught by goaltender Stolarz and held for a face-off. And we're having a little bit of audio issues here as the audio is a little ahead of the picture that we're watching here at the studio in Toronto. But I'm sure the boys are working on that diligently.
Shesterkin with a perfect pass. I thought it was offside at first. But a perfect pass from his own crease all the way to the Leaf blue line, right onto the stick of Alex Lafreniere.
Draw one by the Maple Leafs, who start out. Nylander takes a pass to center, got upended, and a penalty is coming here against the Rangers as Nylander was tripped. And so the Maple Leafs, whose power play, dare I say, is red hot, gets an opportunity here first out of the gate, and it will be Keandre Miller going to the box.
Yeah, the Leafs in the last two games, perfect 4 for 4. Miller ended up dropping his stick after, it was really more Nylander stepped on it. Leafs 4 for 4 in the last two games, and in the last 8, they're 10 for 22. big opportunity here to get on the board first.
11:10 remaining in the period. Draw to the right of goaltender Shesterkin. Tavares, Nyes, Nylander, Matthews, Marner. It has been an experiment that is starting to work with a lot. There's the shot. Pad save and a good one. Swallowed up by Shesterkin right off the face-off.
And that was Austin Matthews with the one-timer from the right wing circle. You love this, though, don't you? I mean, win the draw straight back.
Hammer it away. Yeah. Yes, indeed. I'll take my chances with him shooting the puck.
Boy, and I think there was more room glove side. Matthews
he gets it elevated at all, doesn't he?
Well, he sort of gets it back towards the middle of the net.
Draw one by Toronto. Back to the point. Marner with a shot in traffic deflected wide of the goal. And the Rangers are going to get it airmailed out and down the ice. Stolars will leave it there for Marner. Marner dropping the puck back, and now Matthews comes out. On the right wing side with a pass in for Tavares. Tavares works it back to the blue line. Marner returns the favor to Nylander. Nylander centers it front. Tavares with a shot. And his stick was partially tied up, and it went just wide. Now to Matthews high in the near boards area. Top of the circle. Down low. Return back to Matthews to Marner at the point. Marner holds. Looks. Still with it, into the slot. Tavares trying to get it to Nyes and failing to do so. Nyes gets it free, and the Rangers, though, you've got to be well aware when you're on the power play, they are not bad at shorthanded goals.
14 shorthanded goals on the year to lead the National Hockey League in that category. They had one against the Leafs the last time these two teams played.
Here's Max Domi coming to center on the second power play unit. Into the corner and around the boards. It's going to come to the near point. Backhanded in along the wall. Batted out at center ice by Zibanejad. No, it's kept in by the Maple Leafs right at the point. Goes back into the corner. Schneider will run it around the boards, and it'll just escape the center. And Robertson goes back to retrieve it. Robertson got it up on the left wing, and down into the corner goes Riley. Riley stood it up, and Robertson lost it, and the Rangers are going to shoot it out and down the ice. 17 seconds left, and the Leafs will be hard-pressed to keep that streak going. Oliver Ekman-Larsson drops. Brought on at center ice by Toronto with a nice move into the slot area. A wrist shot goes wide to McCabe on the near boards. Looking for Matthews. Matthews comes out into the slot. The one-timer in on goal. That was stopped by Shesterkin. And with the penalty over, the puck comes to the blue line, but not out. Kept alive for Nylander. Nylander is upended again. No call as he is slow to get up on his skates. And it is shot down the ice by the Rangers. And there'll be an icing call here. I think that one was more egregious than the one that was called.
Well, Nylander gets the puck in the high slot and tried to dance around the defender, was taken down. But the Rangers will. Now let's see. I mean, this is Adam Fox got away with that. Swung his stick, got turned around, swung his stick, and took Nylander down, but no call.
Face off to the right in the Ranger zone. Shots are 8 apiece. And Carrick loses the draw. The Leafs at the point of drive, and Shesterkin knocked that away off the stick of Morgan Riley. Back of the net now. Here's Lorenz. Back to the point. Kept alive there by Brandon Carlo. Got it around back of the net. Camp gets it back, but it's got past Riley and goes down the ice. And Stolars won't be able to play it as it didn't reach the trapezoidal area. Leafs are able to help him out, and it is played in along the boards for Camp. Camp trying to get it freed up. Carlo couldn't. Rangers into the corner. Camp got a little reverse hit there that was called a couple of games ago for a similar hit. I think it was OEL,
yes,
wasn't it?
Yep.
No call on this occasion. Rangers Kochek up on the right side, and across the line is Schneider. Around on the boards to the near wing. Shot is drilled into the chest of goaltender Stolars, and Anthony will hang on to that and bring a face-off in the Toronto zone. 7:52 remaining in the first period. There is no score, and you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CRV Sport here in Alliston, Ontario.
What's up, Insiders? Holy Mackinac, what a day it has been. 0-0 in the Leafs game. I have no idea. I haven't even gotten the Leafs game up on the TV yet. I am that bad of a Leafs fan. But really, I'm not, because I've got all kinds of stuff going like crazy here with the March Madness Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign for SickKids Hospital. The link is pinned in the chat. Please go check it out. Please donate if you can as well. If you can't donate, I get it. Things are crazy. That's fine. Share the link out. Please help us share the link of these college basketball streams that we have running right now, that the bots are coming into the Texas A&M stream, that I forgot to switch over to the live game scene. Oh no. Uh-oh. Back to the hockey. See you guys back in the chat.
Best scoring chance the Leafs have had was on the power play. Austin Matthews getting a one-timer away that Shesterkin came across nicely and got a left pad and glove on.
Look at this for Igor Shesterkin. The last 5 games, he's only 2-3. The goals against average of 1.8.
He's going to have to get out and shoot more.
Well, he set up probably the best scoring chance.
Yeah, he did.
Long pass.
Leafs back in their own zone. Played around back of the net to the near wing, and the Leafs get it freed up, and Tavares comes away at center. Up on the left wing, the Leafs get it back to Tavares. He shot and scores! John Tavares gets a one-timer away, and the Maple Leafs on a nice breakout on the rush make it 1-0 with 7.5 minutes to go in the first.
Willie Nylander had the great outlet pass. Took a hit, got it to John Tavares. And then for Tavares, it was a give and go. Pass to the left wing side, and Jake McCabe had jumped up into the rush. McCabe got it and then gave it back to Tavares, who quickly from the high slot snaps it past Shesterkin. They give the Leafs a 1-0 lead, 28 on the year for Tavares, and his first point in 4 games.
28 goal of the season, as you mentioned, and it comes at 12:30 of the period, and the Leafs get the opening goal and lead it 1-0. Robertson along the far boards is pinned there, trying to help out Pontus Holmberg. Dug it free. Now it's sent back into the maze of skates, pinned to the wall by Zach Jones, and the Rangers now finally backhanded out at center ice down into the Leaf end. Morgan Riley will find Brandon Carlo. Those two seem to be feeling much more comfortable with one another as a defense tandem too. Puck around back of the Ranger goal, brought up on the right side. Broken up at the red line. Leafs can't play it in on a pass for Marner. Back on the left wing for Lafreniere. Lafreniere's centering pass was intercepted, and Marner starts back with Nyes. Marner to center. He'll flip in on the right wing boards, and in goes Nyes to protect the puck and get it to Marner. Marner circles out of the scrum, works back to the blue line, stops at a weak shot wide of the net. Matthews unable to get to it. Rangers in the corner, and Nyes is lifted right off his skates, right in front of the official, who may have, I don't know what he had.
It's not like he didn't see it.
Well, I wouldn't think so. Rangers to center and brought in on the right wing. Into the slot area. David Camp ties up his man along the boards. That battle ensues. The Leafs are able to get free of it, and it is pushed to center ice and down into the offensive zone. Lawton couldn't come up with it, neither could Lorenz. Played high to center ice, knocked back in over the line. That's a delayed offside and will be whistled down by the linesman. My goodness, there's Nylander tripped again. Nyes taken right off his skates, and all within 10 feet of some guy who's supposed to be in charge of the match. It's 1-0 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It comes around every year. People begin to scramble for information. It's a beast like no other. And VSiN is here to help you navigate the waters of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's Sharp Week, and our team of college hoops experts will guide you through your brackets. Want to know who the wagering sharps are picking? Tune in to Sharp Week on VSiN, Sirius XM 158. Sharps! You're gonna need a bigger bet.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little.
Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Make sure to hit the like button and so you don't miss out on our content.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just telling the chat to like the video.
You telling everybody in the chat to hit the like button?
Yeah.
Nice job. Can you guys please hit the like button? This kid's awesome. Go Leafs, go! We'll see you back in the chat.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Network.
John Tavares with his 28th from McCabe and Nylander, and the Maple Leafs with a 1-0 lead at MSG.
When you talk about them, I saw where there's a stat saying a 20% chance that the Rangers could make the postseason. But it is amazing how fast things can change. Ottawa moved to within 4 points of the Leafs on Saturday night. That's now at 8. Ottawa's losing 3-0 at home to Colorado right now.
Long shooting that Stolarz catches and will stop play. First period brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 18 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca.
Another game where Florida Panthers and Columbus are scoreless late in the first.
Puck in the Toronto zone. Pushed out at center by Nylander. Flips it in on the left wing. Trying to drive was Bobby McMahon, but the shot went off the goaltender's pad and went wide of the net. Brought back in by the Rangers. Good save made by Stolarz on a wrist shot taken by Cooley. Out into the center ice area. The Leafs get it in across the line. Hard shot taken by McMahon was stopped there by Shesterkin. There was a rebound, but no one could get to it. Now another turnover in the neutral zone. All right, back in again. McMahon sending it down into the corner. Bobby McMahon and Fox after the puck. McMahon plays it around back of the goal, but there's no one there as the Leafs were in the midst of a change. Rangers will slow things down, and Soucy will wait for his forward complement to change. Round back of the net now for Condre Miller. Miller skates it straight up to center onto the right wing side. Robertson got a body check in on his man on the far boards. The Leafs come away with it. Domi tried to get it to the line, and he does. And then Benoit is able to poke it a little further to the Ranger zone. 4:18 to play in the first period. 1-0 Toronto. Rangers to center. Shot into the Toronto end. And delayed offside that gets the Rangers to clear. And the Leafs with some time and space. Benoit gets the center and bounces it down into Ranger territory. New York sending it around the boards to the near wing. Trying to get free is Miller. DeAndre Miller to his defense partner on the right wing and played out at center, but that's intercepted and quickly brought back by the Leafs. In over the line, Matthews dropping, and a shot by Nyes is deflected by Shesterkin up into the screen and out of play. 3:43 to go here in the first. Tavares from McCabe and Nylander on the board.
And Anthony Stolarz looks sharp early on, doesn't he? Now most of the shots have come from the outside, but he's been sharp. The Rangers 10 shots on goal to the Leafs 11. We said they only had 13 shots against Calgary. The season low was back in December, 12 shots in a game in New Jersey against the Devils.
Face off to the right in the Ranger end. Matthews, Marner, nice. Won by Toronto at the point. 10 of a shot. That didn't make it through. Bounces back at the net. Matthews curling out of the corner in front. And a one-timer by Marner went just wide. Puck comes back along the boards and into the corner for Nyes. Using his body well to shield it. Comes out of the scrum. Got it in front of the net, but it went off his stick. And the Rangers will play it high off the boards to center. Volleyballed ahead by Toronto, and a glove pass will stop play as McCabe touches it. Face-off coming in the center ice area.
I don't know what happened on Sunday, but somewhere between the Ottawa game Saturday night and the Calgary game Monday, Austin Matthews has reemerged. I mean,
well, I had a long chat with him, Ralphie, you know, just over a couple of beverages there. Just no, I have no idea.
I mean,
you're right.
But it has been almost just night and day overnight.
Well,
and we're seeing it again here in the first period.
You know, he apparently took the captaincy very serious and had a long chat. They had a meeting in the room, and I think he just decided that, you know what, I've got to lead by example a little more. And they have. Leafs get it back to the point. Brandon Carlo gets it returned from Riley. His shot is deflected away there by Shesterkin. Down in along the boards, and it'll be pushed out at center ice. Carlo shoots it right back in again. Puck on the far boards for Brandon Schneider. 2:36 to play in the period. Rangers turn the puck over again in their own zone, but it is knocked out at center ice now. Leafs will regroup. Brought to center ice and launched high into the offensive zone, and in go the Leafs into the forecheck. Tavares around back of the net, shielding it, but couldn't one-hand it out in front. New York gets through to center ice, and now a twisting and turning move, and Tavares is on his man like a dog on a bone, and the puck finally comes free, and Zach Jones will now get it freed up, and the Rangers play it, but it's intercepted. Brought back in over the line by Nylander. Nylander overskated the puck. Tavares helps him out. Got it back to the point. Fed around the boards back of the net. Shesterkin out to stop that. And trying to center it. Had it partially blocked there by Bobby McMahon. But out come the Rangers to center. And they'll throw it deep into the Toronto end. Tanev round back of the net with McCabe. Got it up on the wing but not out. Leafs then are able to push it out at center ice. And back to retrieve it is Will Cooley, who sends it back into the Toronto zone in the near corner. Tanev got it ahead, and the Leafs are able to burst out at center ice with Robertson. In on the right wing, sending it in deep for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg, who has drawn almost as many penalties as any leader in the National Hockey League. And now we get a high stick making contact with the puck. With a minute 10, it will be brought back with a face-off coming in the center ice area.
You remember when you saw Bobby McMahon jump up against the glass and block the Igor Shesterkin clearing attempt? That's how the Leafs scored the winning goal against the Rangers last time they were in. It was Mitch Marner got in behind the Ranger net. Shesterkin tried to airmail it, bring it around the glass. Marner knocked it down, gave it to Matthews, who threw it out to Matthew Nyes, who had the game winner. And coming out for the Rangers, it tied it with a short-handed goal.
Played in on Shesterkin. He will tuck it around back of his goal, and a minute left to go in the period. Rangers get it high to center ice. Leafs unable to chop it up the boards. Long shot goes wide back of the goal. Unable to center. It comes back to the point. D to D with a wrist shot coming. They score! Point shot on the far side. And I think it's Will Borgen who's going to get credit for it, but the Leafs give up a goal late in the period with 47.9 seconds to play, and it's 1-1.
This is where you need that third line, Joe, to be better defensively. They got caught running around. Points are open. Now, I don't know if Anthony Stolarz is screened on this, if it goes off a Leaf. No, this appears just to get through the screen. Chris Kreider was in front. Carrick's in front as well, but the reaction of Stolarz is very late as the wrist shot beats him blocker side.
So Borgen gets the goal, his 5th of the season. And we are tied with a goal late in the period. Played back into Ranger territory. Back of the net. It'll go around the boards. Trying to keep it alive was Benoit, who got it into the corner, but the Rangers are able to punch it back. And around back of the net now, New York tried to organize. Looking for Zibanejad, but the pass goes all the way out and down the ice. And icing with 17.3 seconds gives the Leafs another opportunity to win a faceoff in the offensive zone here with 17.3 seconds to play.
That goal comes on the 11th shot on goal for the Rangers of the period. You can tell from the one highlight that Anthony Stolarz did not react to that until it was past him. He had both Kreider and Carrick in front of him providing the screen. I don't believe that hit anything. Just perfectly placed shot from the right point. Post and in.
One of the scratches tonight for the Rangers is the Rempire State Building, and a shot from the point scores! Oh my, a deflection in front of the goal. McCabe let it go from the point. And Shesterkin gets beat with 9.6 seconds left on an important icing. And Bobby McMahon going to the net, I believe, got his stick on it, Jimmy.
Yeah, and it was McMahon that chased the puck down off the faceoff, but went in the corner to the right of Shesterkin. McMahon got it. It was worked back to the right point, and McMahon went right to the front of the net. Beat Keandre Miller, and McMahon, he deflects this down about 2 feet in front of Shesterkin. And Shesterkin had his glove up, ready to make a grab on the rather simple shot from McCabe from the left point. And the Leafs very quickly regain their lead.
19th of the season for McMahon. Long shot goes wide of the Leaf goal. Another shot to the front of the goal. And there is the horn that ends the period. And Jake McCabe has a 2-point night going for him very quickly, assisting on the primary assist on both goals.
And that's the one thing I think when you look at Bobby McMahon playing up with Tavares and Willie Nylander, that has sort of been the revolving door spot in this lineup, hasn't it? We've seen Kelly Yarncroc get opportunities there. Pontus Holmberg has had chances playing with Tavares and Nylander, and maybe Bobby McMahon is going to be the one that finds the magic there.
So the Maple Leafs with a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes of play. We will step aside. Eilish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert coming your way with our first period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Spring is in the air on the SiriusXM app. From breezy road-ready mixes and sun-kissed specials to streaming-only happy channels packed with positive vibes. Our spring listening collection is here to help you savor every second of the season. Along with new podcasts and live sports and entertainment. Just search Spring on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Tkachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General Manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not, and then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months, I've been listening to hockey people warn the Sabres. Don't move on from Dylan Cousins. This is the one you'll regret. The fact that you're trading in division is amazing to me. This guy can come back and haunt you like every Sabre does. But if I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, Jake, I'm over the moon on this trade.
Point with Boomer Gordon. 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Cheers, Insiders. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. during the Leafs and the Rangers game. We are now live for 5 streams right now on Toronto Sports Insider. Insiders, this is absolutely crazy. Oh my God, we have bots coming in the Leaf stream. This is insane. I actually figured out that I cannot watch the Leafs game here because if I put the Leafs game on my TV, it starts buffering everything. So, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to kill bots over in the Yale versus Texas A&M game, which needs a lot of help in that game. But man, what a finish to the end of the Leafs period there. 1-0, we're up. We got this. Late goal by the Rangers ties it up. And no, Leafs get the goal right at the end there. Beautiful. McMahon gets it from assisted by McCabe and Tavares. I'm sorry, I have to read it because I have no idea. Anyways, I got to go check up back on the other streams. The Kansas-Arkansas game is really tight, so make sure you guys check out that stream over there. And please check out the link that's pinned in the chat for our SickKids Bracket Mania campaign. I still haven't even clicked the link myself, even though I've copied and pasted it about 600 times today in all of the streams so far. 5 live streams at once. Insiders, thank you for being here. What a group. We'll start off there with Miss V. Cheers. Thank you for saying, hey, we understand that the bandwidth is a little tight here at the house tonight. Cheers, Insiders. Back to the hockey and back to, hey, there's 89,501. Cheers to that. We, the North. Late one tonight. Make sure you Leafs fans are hanging out in the Raptors stream against the Golden State Warriors. Rematch of the NBA Finals. You know, when we won the chip, we like to call it, right? The chip. So yeah, anyways, I am going to stop kneeling down and killing bots. I should just put my desk up and make all of that problem go away. Go Leafs, go! Chat it up, cheer loud. We'll see you in there. Andrew Hurd, Pike, Jesse. All right, there's Carmen, Stefan, Joe Mama, Big Hawk. What's up? B-Man as well. Big shout out there to B-Man. Good to see you. Go Leafs, go.
A lot about it, right? Like the first two, you always harp on.
I always
You're a
talk
big
about
fan.
the first and last minute of the period. My coach used to
fan of a
get
clean
very
last
mad
minute
at
and
us.
a first minute, but it was trending poorly. But the Leafs respond with Bobby McMahon's go-ahead goals. The Leafs lead 2-1, as you mentioned. But big period for Jake McCabe. 2 primary assists.
Yeah.
Jumps into the rush and feeds John Tavares, who just, man, when he puts his full weight behind a puck, it is going in and out quickly, and did on that goal. And then, I don't know if he spotted Bobby McMahon out front, but maybe he was selectively going a little bit wide for Jake McCabe. I'll give him enough credit for that. And a better tip, though, than it was a pass, if that. So Jake McCabe, you see a little bit of the offensive flair in addition to what is, forming that very, very important shutdown pair at a good rate, too. Jake McCabe, if you're doing like tradable assets on the Maple Leafs, he's like trade value.
Oh,
like he's worth every penny, and not every player on the Leafs, of course.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's worth every penny.
Yeah, that McMahon tip with about 9 and change left in the period there. It's a good sign. I know Luke Fox tweeted it too, but he was given a promotion, Bobby McMahon, to go to the second line alongside Tavares and Nylander, and the goals are 2-0 with scoring chances 4-2 with those 3 on the ice. And it's been a revolving door, I think, figuring out who's the best second line option. But when Bobby McMahon's playing well, he can score goals and he can get in there and be physical. He's a big guy, and he can get the puck to William Nylander or help get the puck to a John Tavares, and shows that he's deserving of that opportunity. I would rather have him there than Pontus Holmberg or some other fill-in spots.
What about Scott Lawton?
So this is where I was going to go with it. So I'm happy with the way, obviously you can't complain now. It's a 2-1 game and they've, been part of both goals. But I am curious what it would look like if you put Scott Lawton up there. He's been stapled to the fourth line in a sense over the last couple of days. But you got to figure out how to get him going because he was A, expensive, but B, has more to give, I think.
Yeah, well, I hope so, because he's been pretty unnoticeable in this game. The things we have noticed in his short time with the Maple Leafs have been more so like him getting a little bit banged up or him having an unfortunate bounce cost the Leafs, or him exiting a game, albeit briefly. Like, yeah, the Scott Laughton story, there isn't much in terms of things like really positive things to hold on to, and I think it would be worth exploring putting him in positions to benefit from playing with some really talented players. But if we're doing, hey, who's the best left winger on the team outside of Matthew Nyes? Right now, the answer is Bobby McMahon, and he moves up in this game, and we've already seen the benefit of that, him getting the go-ahead goal there, and the second line scoring both the goals with Tavares and Nylander factoring in on the first.
And that's 600 points for William Nylander. So a big moment for him, a big milestone, more to come, I'm sure. And we talked about John Tavares in that line. Clearly, that's the line that's cooking. And Armin sent us this, producer Armin sent us this little behind the scenes of our stat pack. But Tavares is second in goals and assists in the NHL on the back end of back-to-backs. Only Ovi has more goals on back-to-backs at the second half of them, which means he's taking care of his body. He's showing up. He doesn't take his foot off the gas. He's a good vet, good pro, good leader.
I was going to say, I don't know what that means. Is that just an anomaly? But you've spun a pretty, I think, beneficial narrative to the Tavares story. And I'm behind it. I'm backing it. I think you're right.
I think so too.
Takes care of himself.
Yeah.
Delivers on the second night of a back-to-back.
He's a pro. He knows how to be consistent. Let's take a break. We've got a very busy out-of-town scoreboard with lots of important games, including I think every Canadian team in action tonight. So we'll get to that on the other side. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus...
All right, since it's commercial break, I'll just come back in here. That was great. The eyeballs, that makes me crack up here in the chat all the time. All right, let's get this... Here we go. We're moving on up. There we go. All right. So now we're going to test something here. What's up, basketball fans? Going to put this in halftime of the game. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're live as well for the Toronto Maple Leaf stream against the New York Rangers. It's the first intermission. It was a wild end to that first period. The Leafs get the goal. Bobby McMahon gets it in right before the end of the period with 10 seconds left. Oh yeah, basketball. Anyways, thank you for hanging out with us. Please come on over to the other streams here on the channel. We're live for 5 right now. Cheers. Good luck to your team. We'll see you back in the chat. Okay, now let's see how that works with the recording. Maybe that will work to put into halftime some of these basketball games. Anyways, this is the stuff that I'm doing here, but I have got to get back to hashtag Justice for Shield. How long was that timeout? How long did he get hit for between the bots, and how long ago? Because there's so many bots that have been timed out in these basketball games today that this list is very, 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 very long. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Come on, chant loud. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. Oh, wait, there it is, Shield. There, he's back. Sarah's here. Shield is in the chat. Justice for Shield. Shield is smart. We'll see you back in the chat. Go Leafs, go.
Maple Leafs Radio Network. Let's take a look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
Number 8 scored his 888th career goal and is now 7 away from passing Wayne Gretzky. And the Capitals are up 1-0 on the Flyers. Devils have a 1-0 lead over the Flames. It's 4-0 Avalanche smacking around the Senators. Scoreless Panthers and Blue Jackets end of 1. In the first period late, Canucks and Blues are 0-0. It's 1-1 Canadiens and Islanders. And still to come tonight, still 7 more games. Ducks and Predators, Lightning and Stars, that's a big one. Kings and Blackhawks, Jets and Oilers, that's a big one. Sabres and Utah, Bruins and Golden Knights, and the Hurricanes are in San Jose to take on the Sharks.
All righty. And it's a 2-1 lead for your Maple Leafs. After 20 minutes at Madison Square Garden, Jim Ralph and Joe Bowen will have the call of the second period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It comes around every year. People begin to scramble for information. It's a beast like no other. And VSiN is here to help you navigate the waters of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's Sharp Week, and our team of college hoops experts will guide you through your brackets. Want to know who the wagering sharp?
Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Make sure to hit the like button, and so you don't miss out on our content.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just telling the chat to like the video.
You telling everybody in the chat to hit the like button?
Yeah.
Nice job. Can you guys please hit the like button? This kid's awesome. Go Leafs, go! We'll see you back in the chat.
First overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the Sirius XM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favorite club.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favourite team.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs with a 2-1 lead after the first period of play at Madison Square Garden in New York. And the Tavares line has been hot. John Tavares with his 28th goal of the season. And here's the old coot, right? John Tavares, been in the league all kinds of time. He is unbelievable when he doesn't have any rest. He has scored 9 goals now in back-to-back games when he has played in the second part of the back-to-back with 0 days rest. So you can't argue that. Alex Ovechkin has done it 11 times. But then Borgen from Soucy and Brodzinski tied it at 19-12. But an icing call got a face-off back in the zone. And with 10 seconds left, Bobby McMahon deflects in a point shot from Jake McCabe, and Tavares, his 19th, 2-1. Willie Nylander with an assist on the opening goal hits the 600-point plateau as a Toronto Maple Leaf.
It's amazing, isn't it? Some of the, whether it's Marner's, Matthew, or
every
Nylander.
Night.
Yeah.
Every night. Someone is hitting some kind of a milestone of some sort. And
I've got one for you under the department of Will C.
Oh.
The Leafs were leading after the first period. 20 wins, 2 losses.
Not bad.
The New York Rangers, when trailing after the first, are 3-19.
Wow. We're underway. Oh, no, we're not. No, I'm sorry.
Well,
we're seeing the highlights. Oh, God. They're scoring goals from everywhere here. The Leafs will move on and tangle with the Predators in Nashville on Saturday. That game is a 7 o'clock start. We'll have it for you. We hope that you will join us at that time. And then it's home, but they still have another West Coast swing. San Jose, LA, Anaheim on the horizon. This last part of this season has been wrought with extended long trips of long flights anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, before they came back for the 4-game homestand, it was the first time since before Christmas they were even home and away games. Then the 4-game homestand puts them in a deficit again, so next 2 games will get them a little closer to that.
On the road this year, 19-11-2 are the Maple Leafs. The Ranger home record is the reason they're in real problems. 16-16-3. And Madison Square Garden was always a pretty tough place to play. But this year it has not been friendly to the home squad as much as in past years, certainly last year. Leafs to the right. Rangers to the left as the puck is in the center ice area. A pass ahead for Matthews from Marner. In on the left wing, trying to lay it in there for Nyes, but it was partially blocked. And New York now with a pass that is intercepted, and Matthews has it again on the right side. Rings it around the boards to find Nyes. Nyes and Marner get it freed up, but the pass back to McCabe was deflected, and McCabe has to hustle back, being pressured here by Zibanejad. Zibanejad got it around back of the net. Into the slot, a shot kicked away by Stolarz. Puck along the far boards. Still free as it comes back to the point. D-to-D on the near side for Borgen. Shot deflected by the goaltender wide of the net as it goes around back of the net. Cut off by Morgan Riley. Fed back up on the wing. Leafs can't get it out initially, but now do off the skate of Marner to center ice. Rangers reorganizing. Marner is trapped, not able to get off for a change. New York in on the right side with Panarin. Panarin stops into the slot area, and a deflection off the stick of Nyes goes into the far corner. Rangers on it again. Nyes still out there. Tavares has replaced Matthews, but the Leafs still in their own zone. Cleared to the line, but not out. Back to the point, Fox. Fox into the slot area. Shot stopped. The rebound, scores. Panarin will finish it off. The Leafs were dog-tired out there as they could not get exchanged, and we are tied at 2.
The 2 opportunities to clear the zone, and they don't do it. Morgan Riley tried to go high off the glass to the point, and it was simply gloved, knocked down, thrown to the net, and then a big rebound by Stolarz out to the right, and Artemi Panarin has a wide open net to snap the rebound home and tie this game at 2. A minute 22 second shift for both Matthew Nyes and Mitch Marner to start the period, and it cost them.
31st of the year for Panarin, who extends a point streak to 11 games with the goal. And we are tied at 2s as Nylander drags it down into the offensive zone. Willie working the boards on the near side. Got free of one. Tried to center in front. Backhand pass didn't work. Another backhand stop. Nylander with a loose puck, unable to reach it. Played back into the corner and around the boards back of the net, out of the reach of Bobby McMahon. McMahon gets it back to the blue line. Pass into the slot. Nylander doesn't shoot it. And it's cleared to the near boards, and Tavares won't reach it as it's pushed out at center ice. Tavares has it knocked off his stick, but the Leaf defense are there to take it away, and McMahon will backhand it down into New York territory. So Panarin ties the game, and it is 2-2. 14 shots apiece. Trocheck and Fox have drawn the assists on the goal as it's rolled in on goal, scooped aside by Stolarz. And a rink-wide pass goes off of Benoit's stick to center, grabbed off by the Leafs, and Robertson can't get it in initially, but is able to shoot it down into Ranger territory. Puck along the board's far side is launched high, and it's gone too high into the benches and out of play. Face-off coming with the Leafs and Rangers deadlocked at a pair. A juicy rebound, and Panarin was just off on the left-hand side, and his one-timer.
So many things went wrong in that. It was a giveaway in the Ranger zone that led to the change of possession, and also led to Marner and Matthew Nyes being out for a long shift. Riley can't clear the zone.
At the point, Tanev a shot deflects wide of the net. Oliver Ekman-Larsson pinches to try and keep it in. It goes around back of the net. And Schneider is there now for New York. A pass out, Let's on the right wing side and brought in over the line. Miller got down into the corner, unable to move with it though, as Cooley was checked, and it goes around back of the net. And the Leafs will launch it high to center ice, and Lorenz dropping it off, but it is picked away and brought right back in. A long shot deflects off a stick and up into the screen, out of play. Off the stick of Kreider, and it'll be brought back into the Toronto zone for a faceoff with 16:50 to play in the period. The goal comes at a minute 22, so they came rather quickly. 19:12 of the first period, 19:50 of the first period, and a minute 12 into the second.
I agree that Anthony Stolarz, I mean, the goals haven't been horrible again, but just not as compact and in control as we've seen him before earlier in the year.
Puck along the boards. Rangers keep it into the Toronto zone. Work it down into the corner and around the boards. It'll come to the point. Trapped by Borgen. Will Borgen got it back to the net. Lafreniere finds it. Lafreniere taken to the boards. Puck is poked off his stick, and the Leafs are just going to flip it out into neutral ice. Miller back in on the left wing. Lafreniere trying to go to the front of the net, and a long shot is gloved by Stolarz, and he will stop play to bring a face-off in the Toronto zone.
4 goals in this game. One off the rush by John Tavares to open the scoring. The other 3 split up between the Leafs and Rangers originate on point shots. One goes right through, one's a redirection by Bobby McMahon in front, and one's a big rebound on a point shot. A little more old school, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Get pucks to the net, traffic in front.
Fox keeps it in with a wrist shot that goes off the glass over top of the goal. Down in the near corner. Leafs trying to get it along the wall, but failed to get it to a teammate as McCabe lost it. But now Nylander intercepts and sends a lead pass for Bobby McMahon. He works in, doesn't shoot it. Had his man fall. The puck comes in front of the goal. Backhand try, and off the glove of Shesterkin. It went just wide as Nylander delivered it. Here's Tavares with it again. Back to the point to McCabe, and a shot. Blocked it away. Nylander. Then Tavares with a drive, and he scores. And they're coming in fast and furious. And Johnny T has a pair. And I think Jake McCabe's going to end up with another assist for a 3-point night.
Another point shot, another rebound. This time, yeah, it's Jake McCabe that winds up and hammers it. And it was Tavares that passed it to McCabe and went to the net. McCabe let it go from the left point. I don't know if this first shot, Joe, gets to Shesterkin or not, or if it hits the mass in front. Bobby McMahon back in front of the net, providing the screen. Hits somebody and bounces right out to Tavares, who just winds up with a little half slapper and rifles it into the empty net.
A little bit of who touches the puck last maybe tonight, Mr. Ralph. But the Leafs have a 3-2 lead.
Knicks and Raptors would be proud of this start.
Yes. Down into the corner. Benoit had his man checked. It comes back to the point. Schneider in the middle of the ice. Dished off on the left wing side. A shot in traffic. And there was an awful lot of it. Another shot is stopped at the side of the goal. Kreider working it back behind the net. Trying to come out with it there with Sam Carrick. Comes back to the point. Near side for Schneider, and a wrist shot deflects wide of the Leaf goal. And Domi trying to get it out. Got it as far as the blue line, but no further. Carrick, the Markham native, works back of the goal. Carrick getting it back to the point. D to D. It comes to Braden Schneider. A deflection in front of the goal by Kreider. Hit the side of the goal. Played up on the wing, and it is again Kreider getting it off on the far side. Carrick to the point, and a shot is drilled into the chest of goaltender Stolarz, and then Benoit and Schneider get into it in front of the net a little bit. Benoit pulling Schneider apart.
Schneider got it in a pretty good right, though, didn't he? With the glove on. They're still chatting, heading back to their respective benches.
Faceoff will come in the Toronto zone.
Boy, again, the Leafs leave the points wide open. You remember it was the Domi line that was on the ice for the first Ranger goal by Will Borgen. That was was when Morgan and Connor Soucy were both wide open and were able to skate the puck in a couple of strides before firing it past Anthony Stolar.
Draw one by the Rangers. A wrist shot deflects wide of the goal to the far wing. Another shot goes wide of the Leaf goal. Trying to get to the puck on the near boards. Camp waiting for a puck to materialize, and it does, thanks to Scott Lawton, who gets it ahead. And then the linesman, as Lorenz tried to shoot it in, it hit the linesman, didn't have nearly the effect that the goal in the play by the referee had a night earlier.
Had the opposite effect.
Well, it did, yes. So you see what? Everything evens out. Leafs come to center with Chris Tanev. He'll bounce it towards the net. Shesterkin trying to play it out and down the ice and gets it ahead and across the line. Othman trying to get it off on the left wing side. It goes down into the corner, and Brandon Carlo gets it ahead, and the Leafs are going to skate it out. David Camp with skating room to the line and in. Pounds it around the boards for Morgan Riley. Back from whence it came to the far corner. Marner gets there first with Matthews going to the front of the net, and it was redirected on goal, and Shesterkin stopped that. Rangers bring it back the other way with JT Miller getting it into the zone. Former Vancouver Canuck couldn't come up with it. Nyes will have to chase down a errant puck down in the offensive zone. Matthews couldn't get his pass. Now Nyes steals it back. Nyes trying to backhand into the corner. Nyes got it back on a return pass from Matthews. Couldn't handle it, and it's out at center ice. Leafs play it back off of Matthews in on goal. Shesterkin again trying to make a long up. That didn't work. It goes down into the Toronto zone. Icing waved off, and the puck is back of the Toronto net, and it's grabbed off by OEL, and he'll give it to Matthews. Matthews back to the defense, and Benoit will send a pass ahead at center for Nylander, who's fresh off the bench. He'll shoot it in. The Tavares line, this line with Nylander and McMahon have been red hot for the Maple Leafs. Played to the line, but not out. Tavares trying to keep it in front of the goal. Oh, and Nylander was in behind everybody and shot it wide. Tavares keeps the puck alive along the boards, and it is fired down the ice, but it won't have enough to go for icing. Back in over the line, off the stick of Tavares. Shesterkin pounds it around the boards. It's going to slide back into Toronto territory, and Riley will reverse the puck to his defense partner and give him time. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson now are back of the net, or rather Jake McCabe, has it back of the goal. McCabe for Riley. Off a stick to the line and in. Leafs get it and get a quick shot away, but it went wide. Played along the boards as Lawton let that shot go. It comes back out at center. And here are the Rangers back at their own blue line. Both teams have traded goals here in the second period, and the Leafs lead it 3-2. 11:40 left to play in the period. To the line and in for New York on the right wing side. Sharp angle effort by Trocheck went wide, but kept in at the left point. Back into the corner, looking in front of the net. Panarin drills it into the chest of Stolarz, but it is knocked free. And the Maple Leafs, Lorenz will get it out off a skate to center ice. Leafs don't get anybody exchanged. Shot back into the Toronto zone. Down on the far boards, David Camp knocks it off the wall, but it won't clear. Kept in on the shot. Blockered away nicely by Stolarz. Rangers with it again and good pressure. Back to the point off onto the right wing side for Borgen. Will Borgen down into the corner. Round back of the net. Leafs don't get it freed up. When they do, it's Morgan Riley finally coming away with it. And he'll get it off on the right wing, and the Leafs are going to get to center and not quite get it in deep, but they do get some exchange. But the Rangers quickly back the other way. Oh, good play made there by Benoit to just knock the Ranger player down and poke the puck into the corner, and it's pushed out at center ice and then brought in offside.
Ranger fans want a penalty there, but all Simon Benoit do is take away the lane to the net. Now Chris Kreider is going after Benoit, chirping.
And now Carrick giving Pontus Holmberg a little bit of the
and Ekman-Larsson
push and shove, and Ekman-Larsson is in there as well.
He always seems to be in the middle of everything, doesn't he?
I'm pretty sure he has a very vocal game to him. I think that players tend to get maybe a little heated from what he hears.
I think Kreider was a little upset that when he was knocked down, Benoit sort of gave him the extra shove into the boards as he was falling. Yeah.
Leafs lead 3-2. John Tavares has scored twice. And Jake McCabe, he's got himself a 3-point game going. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Visit connexontario.ca.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CRV Sport.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So why...
Hey, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single college basketball game of March Madness. Every single game. Speaking of which, I've got to start that next stream right now. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team.
Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Cross the line with a pass, and they score!
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs lead at 3-2. And want to say hello to my little grandson, Brody, who is back in SickKids Hospital going through some more treatments for a lung infection that has been just a real hassle. But the staff there doing a wonderful job, and our thanks to them as it's played around the boards. Greatest hospital in the world. Long shot, blockered away nicely there by Stolars. Into the corner, it's played around back of the net. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got in the way of that. Puck comes free, kicked by Nylander. He's going to get it on the backhand and elevate it into center ice. And Tavares tried to free it up there for Bobby McMahon jumping into the rush. 10:16 to play in the second period. 3-2 Toronto. In across the line. Rangers trying to play it into the corner. Too well covered. Launched around the boards. It'll find an open man on the right wing, and a shot taken there by Borgen hit the side of the goal. Puck back of the net for OEL. OEL gets it up on the wing, and the fight now at the blue line for Bobby McMahon, and he couldn't get it out past Zibanejad the first time, but now the Leafs do. Rangers back in across the line with changes coming for both teams. Brandon Carlo takes his man into the corner, and JT Miller. Centering pass comes back to the blue line. Just kept in there by the Rangers. Worked it back to the blue line. Faked the pass to Borgen. Now driving the net, and a shot went wide of the net. The rebound comes back to the blue line to Borgen. Borgen with it again. A long shot in traffic. Knocked down with Stolars, but the puck went over top of his head and is able to be cleared now by the Leafs down to the blue line. Leafs getting a change of players going. Brought to center and in on a nifty little play made there by Lafreniere. A long shot then went wide of the goal. Trapped by Borgen, and a shot directed wide of the net by Stolars. Into the corner. Miller plays it around to the near side. Marner steers it back to a defenseman and then gets it out at center and brought on by Matthews. Matthews in across the line. Lays it around the boards to the far side. Poked back out at center ice by New York. And the Leafs go back for it. It's across the line for Matthews. Looking for Marner, but the pass deflected away. Nice in the far corner. He is upended and wrestled to the ice and brought back the other way. New York gets to center. Nyes trying to get up, and so is Adam Fox. Back into the slot area to the left wing side, and it's knocked into the corner by Tanev. But the Rangers are able to keep it alive. Down in on the far boards. Trying to get it freed away from Robertson. That is Trocheck getting it back to the point. Fox gets it back to the left wing side, and a shot coming, and a traffic jam in front, and it went wide of the goal. Leafs are able to get it to the line. Pontus Holmberg couldn't get it out the first time, but now it'll be Tanev skating it out at center. Chris Tanev will just get to the center ice red line and flip it high and into the zone. Holmberg plays back on the far wing for Domi. Domi stopping it up there. Couldn't get it freed up. Rangers will lift it high to the Leaf blue line. 7.5 minutes to play in the period. And the Leafs leading 3-2. Scooped around the boards by Carson Soucy. Rangers get it out at center. Brought to the line and in. Left wing side. Long shot was blocked. And Lorenz will play it around the boards to find defenseman Benoit, who quickly gets it up on the wing and played down the ice, and icing waved off because Camp got there. Now poked it in front of the net. Rangers get clear of it to center.
This has been a high event game, hasn't it? Seems like every shift there's 3 or 4 scoring chances.
Down into the corner, Lorenz in the offensive zone for Toronto. Puck is wedged up against the boards. Dug free and sent to the near corner. Rangers get there, and it is backhanded by Brett Berard out at center ice. Chris Tanev finds Jake McCabe, who's looking more and more like Bobby Orr tonight. Got 3 points. Came into the game, McCabe did, with 2 goals and 15 assists. And he's got 3 assists in the first period in 14 minutes as a long shoot in is gloved by Stolars, and he'll stop play to bring a face-off in the Toronto end. 6:17 to play in the period. Sorry, Jim.
I was going to say, since Artemi Panarin signed with the Rangers as a free agent in 2019, 179 goals, 355 assists in 417 games played. So 534 points in 417 games. He is only behind Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Nathan McKinnon in that stretch. So he's sort of an unheralded superstar when you look at those numbers.
Tavares won the draw cleanly. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got it up on the wing, but it didn't clear. It shot back in on goal. Stolarz steering it aside. Rangers with 22 shots on the period as it comes back to Fox. His drive, that went off a body and went wide. Into the corner, a centering pass. Blockered and knocked into the corner then by OEL. He gets it freed up for Tavares, and Tavares trying to flip it out at center. Got it up on the left wing for Bobby McMahon. McMahon got to the blue line and just shovels it deep into Ranger territory. A turnover into the corner, and Nylander has it. Nylander working around back of the net. Willie gets it back to the point in the slot, and a wrist shot by Nyes, who scores! William Nylander, who got his 600th point earlier, gets number 601. And Matthew Nyes extends the lead for the first time to 2 goals.
Nyes and Matthews had come on in the line change, but Willie Nylander had picked up the puck in the corner to the right of Shesterkin. Circled the net, looked up front, and Nyes coming off the bench goes right to the slot, and Nylander puts the backhand pass, saucer pass, right onto the tape of Nyes, who just continues towards the top of the slot, and he snaps it. Blocker side and Shesterkin, and the Leafs have their first 2-goal game of the night.
What a season he's had.
2-goal lead of the night, yeah.
Just everybody thought it was there. Everybody thought this is going to be a big-time power forward. He's grown into his body. He's found that he can be physical. People have found out that he's left-handed, but one fight that really demonstrated that rather dramatically. But now with 25 goals on the season, and the Maple Leafs with a 2-goal lead, 4-2. Puck in the Toronto zone. Wedged up against the boards. It goes into the corner. Punched around to the near side. Pinching in is Schneider. Got it into the corner. Rangers get it back into the slot. One-timer from the far side. Didn't make the front of the net as it was blocked again. Brandon Carlo blocking that shot. Morgan Riley gets a loose puck free, and he'll skate it out of his own zone. Riley coming to center with the Leafs changing. He just launches it into the near corner and heads to the bench. 4:25 left to play in the second period. Leafs with a 2-goal lead for the first time in the contest. Rangers turn the puck over and get it down into the Leaf end. Procheck got it into the slot. Good back checking there by David Camp. Denies access to the net. Leafs get it back out into neutral ice. Rangers organizing and get it up on the left wing. Backhanded in around back of the net. Stolar stops that. Gives it back on the far side. Pontus Holmberg couldn't one-hand it out and is able to trap it on the boards. Waiting for Camp to kind of help him. It's still wedged up against the boards, and finally Holmberg is able to get it freed up and get it to center ice. Schneider on the right wing shoots it back in for Toronto. Stolar's out of the net, rings it off the boards, narrowly missing the official, but it goes off the glass and then caroms up into the crowd out of play.
Leafs have got to find a way to slow this game down. It's still too much end-to-end, a lot of scoring chances at both ends of the rink. 3:31 to go. That 2-goal lead doesn't feel real safe yet.
Nylander with a lone assist, his 35th assist of the season, his second of the game. And the Maple Leafs with 9 scoring make it 4-2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's Lady Gaga.
Let the mayhem begin.
Welcome to Gaga Radio.
Explore themes of chaos and transformation.
I'm taking over exclusively on Sirius XM.
A channel featuring her personal picks.
To you from me.
And exclusive stories from her new album, Mayhem. Gaga Radio for a limited time. Now on Channel 15.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Maple Leafs game. Now's the time of the show for you to let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Speaking of which, where's Tom? Tom!
I'm right here, Dad.
Hey.
And I want to know where you're from, too, and see how far it reaches.
All right, so you heard the man. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. City and province in Canada, city and state in the United States, all over the world. Let us know. Put your flag emoji in the chat, or let us know your city and country. So great to be hanging out with all of you tonight. Now let's get back to the hockey. What are we going to start? Start the chant, Tom.
Go Leafs, go.
Yeah.
Organization and wanting to kind of set up shop long term there. So obviously it makes sense.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs Radio Network.
Joe Bone along with Jim Ralph, Armin Zagarian running the operation, and Tristan Marcagiani is pushing buttons for us. Had a little issue with the audio, but we've got that fixed, I believe. Face off in the Toronto zone. Rangers got it back into the Toronto end, but now Tanev finds McCabe up on the wing and pushed out, and Nylander comes to center with the nifty move to gain the zone. Works to the right wing side, had it knocked off his stick. Played it around the boards looking for Tavares, a little bit too far. Benoit couldn't keep it in as it comes to center, and McMahon is there to help out. OEL trying to play it ahead, lost it. The shot went high and wide off the stick. Played to the side of the net. That kind of crept off the glove of Stolarz and started rolling up the mesh side on the short side.
OEL hit the referee going up the right wing boards. Yeah, that's why it bounced back out front. So
what are those guys doing?
They owe
either
us.
Get a stick and play or get out of the way. Unless, of course, you're helping Steven Lorenz.
That's twice now in this game.
Well, you know what? What we need is more officials. Maybe we should have 5 linesmen.
And what about
only 3 more referees?
Only 1 minor penalty in this game, which is hard to believe.
Oh, there's an icing call, and you've jinxed it. You've jinxed it.
No.
You know there's a penalty coming, and it'll be a bad one.
Well, hopefully it goes the right way, so that's not a jinx.
No, well, okay. It better be. or I'm telling Mom.
I'm just doing what a color guy does. I'm pointing out the obvious.
You know what? You're all world at that. Draw one by the Rangers as they play it into the corner.
Next goal's a big one, Joe.
Yeah. For who? Against the boards, the puck kicked at by Marner. He can't get it out. Now he's got it wedged up against the boards, playing soccer with it. The other night he headed it out at center ice. This time he couldn't get his skate on it to kick it, and the Leafs finally are able to launch it to center, and Marner has it in across the line, trying to play it off to Matthews, and it was knocked away from him. Puck back to the Toronto zone. Leafs are back to recover the puck. Benoit, long lead pass, and apparently it was touched by a Leaf, so there's no icing, and 2 minutes remain in the second period. Leafs with a 4-2 lead. Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it up to Benoit. Benoit's pass ahead at center was blocked. He gets it again on the wing for Domi. Domi couldn't get it in over the line. Rangers bring it back and pepper it down into the Leaf end. Quick shot went well wide of the Leaf goal. Down the board, Schneider got it in front of the net. Domi is able to come away with it. Robertson got it ahead, and Max trying to get after a puck that rolled down into the Rangers zone, but was nowhere able to get to it. Rangers bank it out at center, and it'll carry him down to the Toronto end, and Tanev is back there, and Chris Tanev starts out. What a marvelous addition he has been to the Maple Leafs this year. Down into the corner. Lorenz along with Lawton blocking that. Lorenz tried to keep it in. Comes back out at center ice and shot down into the Toronto end, and an icing call coming here with 59.3 seconds left to play in the period, and it's right back into Ranger territory. The Leaf defense core and its goaltending is dramatically different than a year ago heading into the postseason.
You can say better.
I did, I think.
No, you said different.
Oh, okay. No, all right. Different and better.
Yes.
Much better. Don't second guess me. I just wanted to say it was different. That's your job to say it was better.
Because people would believe me.
That's why you're the analyst. Leafs with it in the offensive zone off a face-off win. Trying to work the boards is Bobby McMahon. He was too well covered. Cleared it into the corner. Nylander in front of the net, and Tavares got a shot away. And Shesterkin makes the save. And Johnny Toronto looking for the hat trick here tonight.
He's already got 2 this season. First one came in Winnipeg against the Jets. The third one was into an empty net, and then he had one at home in December against the Buffalo Sabres.
That's great color work. You know?
I didn't even look it up.
I know.
I better do that now, though.
Listen, Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a... And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi-tool that masters every unpredictable weather condition. Visit your local Subaru dealer for great lease and finance options.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Centering scores! Max Domi! My goodness!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Rangers are in tough trying to make the postseason after winning the President's Trophy a year ago.
And right now the stats will show that Ottawa and Montreal are the favorites to get in. Ottawa danger of losing back-to-back. Getting hammered by Colorado on home ice.
Matthews couldn't keep the puck in. It goes down into the Toronto zone with 28 seconds left, and a nice clean sheet here would be wonderful as Tavares works to the line and just rolls it in wide of the net. Matthews hustles in there after it, tried to work it along the boards. Tavares with him. Matthews out with Nylander and Tavares as it's played into the center ice area with 7 seconds left in the period. Right back into Ranger territory, or was it? No, it deflected into the screen and out of play. 2 seconds left in the period. Willie Nylander is +4. He's picked up 2 assists. John Tavares has a pair of goals. Jake McCabe, a high-scoring defenseman, has 3 assists.
Yeah, all being out with the right guys at the right time.
That's what she said. Face-off won by the Rangers, and time is going to run out.
Now, I thought the Leafs did a pretty good job the last 3 or 4 minutes, letting the game settle a little bit. But certainly, I mean, it was, even to start the period, you mentioned the way the opening period finished, 2 goals late in the final minute of the opening period. And then that continued into the second, but I thought the Leafs were able to settle it down a little bit. And I think Craig Berube would love nothing more than a very uneventful third period.
With an empty netter for John Tavares.
Yeah, let's do that.
Just to finish up. All right. Well, after Panarin tied the game, Tavares with his second of the game from McCabe and McMahon, and then Nyes from Nylander. And 4-2 is the score with the Leafs out in front of the New York Rangers. We'll step aside for our second period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It comes around every year. People begin to scramble for information. It's a beast like no other. And VSiN is here to help you navigate the waters of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's Sharp Week, and our team of college hoops experts will guide you through your brackets. Want to know who the wagering sharps are picking? Tune into Sharp Week on VSiN, Sirius XM 158. Sharps! You're gonna need a bigger bet.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months, I've been listening to hockey people warn the Sabres. Don't move on from Dylan Cousins. This is the one you'll regret. The fact that you're trading in division is amazing to me. This guy can come back and haunt you like every Sabre does. But if I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, Jake, I'm over the moon on this trade.
Point with Boomer Gordon. 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Mike Johnson.
If you would have asked me, what's the one record that would never, ever, ever be broken? Was the 894 goals. Every single day he scores, that's sort of the lead story in the NHL. And yet here's Ovi about to do it, and he's going to push through 900 goals, and he could push to 1,000 if he wanted to if he played 3 more seasons.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161 XM.
What's up, insiders? Let's go. What a game we have here. 4-2, the Leafs get the lead so far. Let's have a big third period and get the win We need to get the 2 points here. Keep on getting the 2 points until we get to the playoffs. Then the points don't matter. Big shout out to Paul Weir in the chat for signing up as a member, as an insider. Welcome to the club. We really appreciate all of the members, all of the super chat donations, all of the ad revenue, all of the stuff that we do with SickKids Hospital. Look, Sarah's here. She's got the order ready. All right, put that down over there. I'm in the middle of live to the Leafs fans. Jesus. All right, here we go. We've got a crazy night ahead of us with basketball. There's 5 live streams right now going on Toronto Sports Insider, so please help by heading over to those other games and hitting the like button and hanging out for a second, saying hi in the chat. It will really help boost the engagement of these streams because some of them are doing well, some are not doing so well. The Arkansas and Kansas one, doing really well. So we'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs go. Big third period ahead. The post game will be fun. I will be playing with the graphics here on the Leaf stream and doing a lot of cool stuff because today is a historic day for Toronto Sports Insider and my family.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Go Leafs go. We'll see you back in the chat.
Type standings, but it's been a pretty amazing night for milestones. We already had the
big round numbers.
The big time round number night could be the title of Luke Fox's article if things stay the same. But that's pretty unbelievable. He's just been so consistent and a really great night for John Tavares, and it's not even over.
Yeah, and answering, the bell in terms of not letting what you hate seeing happen actually hurt the Maple Leafs. Like ill-timed goals against in this game. Last minute of the first period, first few shifts of the second period, but the Maple Leafs have had an answer to both those letdowns in the game. And of course, it's the second line led by John Tavares, led by Jake McCabe, led by Bobby McMahon that are doing all the talking here. It's an interesting theme, I think, for the Maple Leafs that's kind of developed this year is that, this used to be a favorable team from a Corsi look. And Corsi, of course, is possession or shot-based possession based on how many attempts you are accumulating against goal per game. And you can basically figure out exactly how good you performed or how much possession of the puck you had based on those shot attempts. And the Maple Leafs, like if you look at the underlying numbers, if you look at that data set, you'd be like disappointed with what you've seen from the Maple Leafs this season. And the same thing could be said in this game. The Rangers, by natural stat tricks measures, are running at about 58% possession in this game. But if you look at like the more important stuff, like the stuff that's actually meaningful in terms of what you're going to do and what you're going to get in return, I mean, the Maple Leafs are all over the Rangers in this game. And that passes the eye test. 62% expected goals rate is a really, really strong number. And it feels like that's even a little bit light because, the Rangers may have possession of the puck and they may be threatening with shot attempts, but all the best stuff seems to be coming from the Maple Leafs. And that is a theme of the season. The Maple Leafs are generating quality looks, certainly in this game, as opposed to quantity looks.
Yeah, and I would say that the second line is doing the majority of it. Tavares, William Nylander, Bobby McMahon, as we talked about in the first intermission, put together tonight. And Tavares has 2 goals, 1 assist, and is +2. William Nylander has 2 assists and is +4. And Bobby McMahon has 1 goal, 1 assist, and is +3. So a pretty dominant appearance from that line. It has been pretty quiet for Austin Matthews or Mitch Marner.
Yep, it has.
We did get a nice goal. That's his 25th on the season, and
and he was coming on an early change.
Yes,
so that was
wasn't really
more or less another Tavares goal,
for sure,
Tavares line goal.
And so that we looked it up, and he's tied for the lead in goals scored by kids 22 or under.
Kids is right
this year with Wyatt Johnson, and I think something that's going to become a conversation a bit more as we approach the offseason. Our friend Jason Bukala here at Sportsnet had a great article about the urgency that the Maple Leafs need to show, and probably priority number 1 to sign Matthew Nyes to some sort of contract extension before he hits like the RFA period. And he might be expensive, and he might be the piece that you have to fit in before you know if you can fit a Mitch Marner. So it'll be really interesting, but you can't imagine losing him.
No, you can't. And I think they'll do everything in their their capabilities to keep him around. It's not as dire or not as stringent as the Marner situation is. Like, this is Mitch Marner's, okay, this is where I build my career earnings with this 7 or 8 year deal that I'm going to sign this summer with Nyes. Like, you could bridge him and he could get to a bigger payday down the road. He obviously cannot become an unrestricted free agent until he turns 26, and you mentioned it, 22. So the Maple Leafs definitely have kind of control over Matthew Nyes' future, but off sheets are going to be maybe flying around at an expedient rate now that we saw it work last offseason, and we're entering a new financial reality here in the NHL. So I wouldn't be surprised if something is tabled to Nyes, but I do feel pretty comfortable about his wants and desires. And I think first and foremost, and maybe louder, certainly louder than it is with Mitch Marner, he wants to be a Leaf. Like, he came out last week and talked about it. Like, he's make something happen. It's a priority to be in this market. And I think because they have that flexibility and the want on each side, that they'll just figure out the best way to do this. And yeah, we're going to be soon up to 125 mil in terms of salary cap, and when we get there,
that's why
Matthew
I think
Nyes will get paid.
He'll probably bridge. I would think that makes sense.
Probably the smartest thing.
Yeah, it makes sense, like, for him and for his agent, bridge and then make even more money in the next couple of years. The Leafs would be smart to lock him in for 8 years and don't have to worry about any of those UFA years, but we'll see. That's all offseason.
I mean, if there's big change this offseason, maybe locking him in is the best way to go, because, okay, you can get him at a reasonable number in 6 years' time
for sure,
when he's scoring 35
like
goals.
If he's going to be 7 now.
7 now is tough. 7 now might cost you Tavares.
That's what Books was saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he said maybe 8 if you do a long term.
Yep. So probably the bridge.
Take the bridge.
If you're keeping the band together, the bridge makes the most sense.
One last tweet that I saw, Scott Wheeler, with some good research here. John Tavares now has 13 seasons with 60-plus points. The only seasons he did not have 60-plus points, his rookie season, which he had 54 and 82, the lockout season where he had 47 and 48, and the pandemic season where he had 50 and 56. So that's consistency. That's a guy that is not taking his foot off the gas and just continuing to do his thing.
It's consistency, but is it like undoubtedly Hall of Fame? 60
I know,
points
we're
is
gonna
like
have so many conversations about that. He's gonna win a cup.
The goalposts are changing in terms of like, hey, what's an amazing offensive season? If it's 60 points nowadays, it's like, okay, like, yeah, you're.
But he's gotten more than 60. But he's got 13.
No, I know,
60.
I know. It's very consistent. John Tavares is. And he was putting up 60 points when it was difficult to put up 75.
Yeah.
Only a handful of 30-goal scorers. When, Art Ross trophies are being won with 87 points. He was a dominant player back then, too.
Yes, and he's got career highs of 88, 86, 84, 81, 80, 76, 77. You get the point. So, okay, let's take a quick break. We'll get the out-of-town scoreboard, the busy one, and get you set for third period. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CR-V Sport here in Allison, Ontario. And with all-wheel drive, plus a suite of Honda sensing technologies, we made sure it can handle Ontario winters. But you're probably wondering, what's with the one-touch power moonroof? Well, Ontario, we hold on to the hope that one day winter will be over. Get ready for spring and adventure with the Honda CR-V Sport. Lease with rates from 1.99% for 36 months, plus get a $1,500 Honda bonus. OAC conditions apply. Made with domestic and imported parts. See HondaOntario.com.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Breaking news, 65. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of. like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a... And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi-tool that masters every unpredictable weather condition. Visit your local Subaru dealer for great lease and finance options.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. The NHL scoreboard is presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca.
Alexander Ovechkin is still stuck on 888 career goals with one in this game so far, but the Capitals lead 3-0. See if he can add to it in the third period. The Devils have a 3-1 lead over the Flames. Avalanche extend their lead. It's 5-0 over the Senators now, end of 2. Still scoreless between the Panthers and Blue Jackets. Blues have a 1-0 lead midway through the second period over the Canucks. It's 1-1 Canadiens and Islanders. Canadiens looking to stay red hot. Predators up 1-0 on the Ducks. It's 1-0 Lightning leading the Stars. And it's 2-0 early on Kings leading the Chicago Blackhawks. Still to come tonight. Jets and Oilers, Sabres in Utah, Bruins in Vegas, the Cassidy Bowl, and the Hurricanes will be in San Jose to take on the Sharks.
And brackets are busting across the country.
As we speak.
Across the continent. Across the world. All right, let's get you set for the third period. It's a 4-2 lead for the Maple Leafs at Madison Square Garden, and Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph will have the call of the third period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Experience the excitement of the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments on Sirius XM and on the Sirius XM app.
This place is in stunned disbelief.
Search March Madness to hear Westwood One's coverage of all the games, plus pre- and post-game shows and analysis on basketball and beyond with Coach K on College Sports Radio Channel 84. Get radio channels for your games at SiriusXM.com/sports or search March Madness in the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Their leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General Manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not, and then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the Sirius XM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favorite club.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
John Tavares with a pair. Bobby McMahon and Matthew Nyes with single tallies. Jake McCabe with a 3-point night. And Willie Nylander with a pair of assists has the Maple Leafs out in front 4-2 as we're underway with the third period. In the game being played down in New York at Madison Square Garden. Rangers moving from right to left, get it down into the corner. Played by Miller back to the point. He gets a return pass. Centering feed, and that was blocked in front of the net. And Jake McCabe skates it out at center and launches it down into Ranger territory.
3 assists aside, he has had an outstanding game in his own end as well.
Rangers pump it off the boards and get it into Toronto territory. Stolarz out of the goal, played it back of his net and it bounced out in front, but no one was there, which was rather fortuitous. Now Nylander circles through center, had it knocked off his stick. Morgan Riley goes back to recover. Dumped into Ranger territory. Fox goes back, able to come away with the puck and go back at the net. Played it up on the boards, and it'll be played to the near wing and dumped into the Toronto zone. Herrick hustling down after it, can't come up with it cleanly. It comes back to the point and out into the center ice area. The Leafs trying to get a change going as it's played back into the Toronto zone, and OEL goes back behind the net. Oliver Ekman-Larsson trying to play it back there for the defenseman, but unable to get to it was Carlo, and now the Leafs are able to turn it back and get it to the line, and it's going to be offside as Steven Lorenz was into the slot area in a pretty good shooting area, but it's whistled down.
Nice to see Scott Laughton bang one in, wouldn't it?
Yes, that would be nice. He, of course, played briefly for his
Craig Berube,
yeah, old head coach who was out there. Craig was in the St. Louis coaching staff, and then
but it was in Philadelphia.
Yes,
Berube early in his career was able to coach Scott Laughton.
It's a great story about him and Max learning to skate as 6-year-olds together. I don't know who the skating teacher was, but they did a pretty good job on those two. Long shooting down into the Leaf end. Tanev into the near corner. Got it off the boards to the line. Not out. Shot back in again, but the Rangers have to evacuate. Now it is whistled down. Okay. It'll come back out into the center ice area. Good to have Chris Tanev back. He was out with an injury and missed the major part of that Western road trip. But he has just been the anchor of this defense corps. No question about it. What a difference it has made. Blocking shots, taking control of the puck, his anticipation, and we saw it to a perfect example the other night.
Yeah, breaking up a Kel McCart and Nathan McKinnon seam pass that Tanev was able to read perfectly and deflect out of harm's way.
Rangers get it in over the line. Borgen got it back to the blue line, fed over by Miller to the right point. Now back into the left wing side, back deflected in front. Nice play made there by Nyes. He battles for it, and then it'll be poked out at center ice and down into Ranger territory. Leafs need to get a little more offense going here. They've spent most of the first 2.5 minutes in their own end. Long shot deflects wide. It comes back into the slot. And the Leafs are going to get it out at center, and Robertson works down in on the right side, pulls up into the slot area, left it there for Domi. Oh, and a centering pass, and it was redirected just wide of the net by Pontus Holmberg. What a chance he had there. Great feed by Domi. And now it's stolen by Robertson, who keeps it into the offensive zone. Holmberg gets it back to the point. Oliver Ekman-Larsson punching it into the corner, a centering pass, and Holmberg had another whack at it. That one deflected just wide. Holmberg gets it back, and Robertson will regroup it, and this third line does exactly what I suggested, getting some offensive zone time, and they almost extended the lead. Nylander throws it into the offensive zone. McMahon can't get to it. There's been just the one penalty in the game as it's shot down into the Toronto end. Stolarz out of the cage. Backhands it back behind on the near boards for Nylander. Nylander to Tavares. Tavares tried to make a backhand pass, but it was blocked. McMahon gets it into the zone. Nylander took down a couple of his Ranger opponents, getting it into the zone. Leafs get it back in along the boards and down in back of their goal. A centering pass. Good bit of defensive work done there by Willie Nylander. Ties up the stick and denies a pretty good scoring chance as an icing call will come here against Toronto. Little plays and diligence to defense makes a difference.
And we talked about Chris Tanev, but this time it's the forwards we see helping out. The Domi line, the opportunities they had, 2 by Pontus Holmberg, their best shift of this game. And the only line in the first 4 minutes of the third period to get offensive zone time.
Leafs are 6-4-0 in their last 10 against the Rangers. Draw to the right of Stolarz. Leafs 4, Rangers 2. Rangers win the draw. D to D to the right side, kept alive by Schneider. Dropped off now for Miller, trying to work into the slot area, and it's knocked away, but comes to the near wing. Nylander knocks his man down. The puck is pushed out at center ice. Rangers backpedal in their own zone. Jones will send it down into the Toronto end, and Riley gets there first. Morgan Riley starts out. Looks up ice on the wing and got it ahead to the line and in over the line. Now a pass in looking for David Camp is intercepted. Rangers will play it back into neutral ice and get it across the line for Soucy to get it down into the left wing. Trying to drive is Brodzinski. He gets it back to the point. Rangers looking for a man in front. The one-timer didn't really have much on it from Carrick, and it was deflected into the corner by the pad of Anthony Stolarz. Kreider laying it back in along the boards back of the Toronto net. That is scrummed up against the wall. Stolarz pointing out for defensive help in front. Still there. Now finally dug free, and it's the Leafs are able to skate it out at center, getting it ahead, and Steven Lorenz will play it in. Now he's driving the net with a backhand, and he sent that high and wide, and I don't know if Shesterkin got a piece of that or not, but Steven Lorenz in the last couple of games making a couple of good rushes at the net.
Yeah, that was a power forward move, wasn't it? But again, the Leafs, great defensive play. Morgan Riley tying up Zibanejad before Lorenz was able to come down. I think that may have even got off the knob of the stick
I
of
think you're right. Yep. So the Kitchener native comes close to getting goals in back-to-back games.
After going 18 without.
14:45 to play third period. Face-off in the Ranger zone. Domi lost this face-off. Of course, his dad had some pretty memorable moments wearing a Ranger blue. He and Bob Probert had the heavyweight championship of the National Ice Hockey League. And the pass to the side of the net knocked away. The Rangers come away with it in the near corner. Trying to work out of there was Hoffman. He is tied up against the boards. Berard couldn't dig it free. Domi chases down, but it's kept in by Borgen. And the Leafs get it up on the wing for Max, and Max makes a nice play to get it freed up for Benoit, who gets it to center. Now here's Robertson in. Couldn't get a backhand away, but has come away with the loose puck and centers. And that was steered wide of the net by Shesterkin. Rangers breaking back at center. Zibanejad in on the wing and dropping the puck back. Trying to work in with a pass in front. Pad saving a dandy. And the rebound comes free, and now Robertson working the other way. 2-on-1 break. Robertson with Matthews, and the shot went wide of the goal. Cleared on the backhand to center ice. Rangers Panarin in over the line. Played it into the corner. Cooley couldn't get it in front of the net. Panarin looking for a pass. Great anticipation by Tanev to intercept, and he'll get to center and shoot it in before he's knocked down from behind. Nyes into the forecheck, got it freed up for Marner. He tried to make a move, and now a hand pass will move it to the line and out. The Leafs will regroup it at their own blue line. Jake McCabe trying to settle a rolling puck down. Got it up on the near boards for Marner, who will backhand into the zone and go to the bench. Shesterkin plays it up on the wing. Rangers are able to get it out at center and send it down into the Toronto end. Puck along the boards, comes back to the point. Fox in with a shot. That was blocked. Schneider trying to get it again. Got it just to the line, but it was intercepted, and Nylander breaks 3-on-2. Nylander in over the line, dropping for Tavares. Back to Nylander. Nylander with a shot from a sharp angle. Tavares trying to jam it in. Almost got a hole between the legs there of Shesterkin to find his third goal of the contest. Brandon Carlo and Morgan Riley get the puck ahead. Launched back down into Ranger territory, near corner. chip back at the net by Lorenz. David Camp trying to keep the puck in, but it was off his stick, and the Rangers are able to carry to center. Lorenz back checking, gets the puck on the wing. Brodzinski a shot, and on the angle. Good play by Stolarz to stop that. Lorenz backhanding to the line, can't get it out. Gets another opportunity. This time he does get it out. And it's back to Ranger territory. The rest of his mates are changing. The Rangers turn it back up ice. 11:46 to play in the third. The Leafs 4 and the Rangers 2. Ekman-Larsson takes his man to the boards. Kreider tried to pry it free along the near wall for New York as the Leafs play it back of the goal. Benoit got it up on the wing, and it's played high to the Ranger blue line. New York will bring it right back. Soucy sends it into the Toronto zone. Benoit back of the goal to get it up on the wing. Pontus Holmberg got it as far as the blue line, but not out. Into the far corner. Rangers swing it around the boards to find the near side. Panarin got it back to the point. Walking the line, Soucy. Soucy gets it back again. Looks for Panarin, then let a shot go. Boy, you couldn't have got a mosquito through the maze of players in front of that net.
I think that hit somebody in the back of the leg, too, right in front of Anthony Stolarz.
Carson Soucy starts back up ice for New York. Got it to the line. Zach Jones gets across the line. And a stick comes down, and has Matthew Nyes gotten a penalty? If it is, it'll be the first one taken by the Maple Leafs. We're going to call it a slash.
It was Jones that he was chasing over the line. Jones had one hand on the stick, and that's going to be enough to get the call.
First power play of the game for New York. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It comes around every year. People begin to scramble for information. It's a beast like no other. And VSiN is...
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So what?
Hey, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single college basketball game of March Madness. Every single game. Speaking of which, I've got to start that next stream right now. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team.
Kevin. Well, I think anytime that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM
and the Leafs Radio Network.
Penalty kill brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game. Lease the CRV Sport from 1.99% up to 36 months. Visit OntarioHonda.com.
Well, two opposing forces going at it right now. The Leaf penalty kill hasn't been great. 14 for 21 in the last 7 games, but the Ranger power play 1 for 23 in their last 9.
Draw in the Toronto zone to the right of Stolarz. And the Ranger centerman, JT Miller, is waved out. And moving in will be Vincent Trocheck. And the draw scrum. The Leafs get it back around the boards far side. Marner backhanded but didn't get it up the boards, and it's kept in. Panarin works back at the point on the near side. Centering pass partially blocked there by Tanev. Back to Panarin to the blue line to Fox. One-timer on the far side isn't taken. Back to Panarin. His wrist shot blocked in front of the net. Rebound comes back to him. Panarin looking for a one-timer on the far side. Gets it back to Fox. Fox to the other side, and the one-timer is drilled into Stolarz, and the Leafs get a hold of the rebound, and down the ice it goes. Minute 24 in the power play. Chipped ahead by Adam Fox. Left wing side for Miller. Round back of the net. Benoit couldn't come up with it. It comes back to the point. Kept alive by New York. Far side. Fox into the slot area. Wrist shot stopped, and knocking the helmet off of Stolarz is that shot by Zibanejad. And a good look at the Maple Leaf netminder. He and Joseph Wall have provided a pretty good tandem throughout the course of this year.
This is where you hope a photographer gets a great pic of that.
Yeah.
Make it look like you're playing back in the 60s without a mask.
Exactly. Yeah. John Bauer. Well, one of the most famous mask stories came at Madison Square Garden, didn't it?
Yeah,
Bernie Perron.
In the playoffs.
Victor Hadfield threw the mask up into the crowd, and for some reason, a fan from New York wouldn't give it back.
No, I think it was years before. I think Bernie Perron eventually got it back. And Perron was criticized for not finishing the game. Jacques Bond had to come in and finish the game.
Draw one. Now, they had all played without a mask when they were playing junior or
when they were
early
coming
on.
up.
But yeah. But that wouldn't have gone back in without it.
Go ahead and ask somebody now to do that.
Why don't you try it there, big boy? Down into the Leaf zone. Played back to the net by David Camp. He has an avenue, and out and down the ice it goes. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Rangers back to recover the puck and start back up ice. They're going to drop it back to the trailer. That was badly played. And it's taken a little bit more time, and Zibanejad is the one bringing it out. And you can hear the Boo Birds a little bit at Madison Square. In across the line. Good play by Benoit to tie up his man. Puck comes back to the blue line. Intercepted by Toronto. Shot out and down the ice with a dozen seconds left. And the booing gets even stronger. 8:47 to play in the third. The Leafs lead by a couple. Down and along the boards and around back of the net. Riley poking it to the far corner. Intercepted by the Maple Leafs. Backhanded out at center. Nyes is out of the box. He's gotten it to center and down into Ranger territory. So the Leafs do a good job killing off that penalty. Rangers back in over the line. Lafreniere sends it down around back of the net. Leafs get it freed up. Nyes won't reach it in time to play it out. Nylander tries to help out. Couldn't poke it free. Nyes elevates it, and it's going to go down just inside Ranger territory. All of the scoring in the first two periods. It was 2-1 Toronto after the first and 4-2 after the second. Nylander back of the net. Willie has hit the 600-point plateau in a Leaf uniform as it's cleared by New York into center ice. Chip to the line. Oliver Ekman-Larsson does a good job to turn it over. Leafs McMahon brings it right back and barges his way into the right wing corner. Poked it around the boards to the far side. Centering effort didn't work the first time. Did the second, but no one there to retrieve it. And the Rangers get to center and shoot it back into the Toronto end. Back of the net, Zach Jones. Jones curling out for the Rangers to get it back to the blue line. Stolen. McMahon working down the right side. Curls in with a shot, and he ripped it high over top of the goal, and the rebound comes all the way to center. Played high this time, and it's going to go over the glass off a stick and into the spectators at Madison Square Garden.
Bobby McMahon, the great speed burst down the right wing side. And he's another guy that, we've seen it with McMahon. We've seen it with Nyes. They get hot. And now it's 2 goals in 3 games with this goal against the Rangers included in this one for Bobby McMahon.
Leafs lead 4-2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, It's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a... And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi-tool that masters every unpredictable weather condition. Visit your local Subaru dealer for great lease and finance options.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
They score! Rocket McMahon again!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
We are not in New York to officially congratulate, but we did earlier, Sam Rosen. In his final season as play-by-play voice of the New York Rangers is retiring, and this will be his last game against for his Rangers against the Maple Leafs in his career. We wish him all of the best in his retirement.
Just a wonderful gentleman.
Oh,
isn't he?
just knowledgeable, and I mean, talk about a career not only in the National Hockey League but the National Football League and everything else. Long shot swallowed up here by Stolars is going to be smothered off Zibanejad.
That's just the sixth shot on goal for the Rangers here in the third period. Shooting the Leafs 6-5, 6:42 to go. The Leafs holding on to the 2-goal lead. Out of town scoreboard, Columbus had taken a 1-0 lead in the third period over the Florida Panthers, but upon further review, it was deemed to be kicked in. So that is still scoreless in the third.
6:42 left third period in the game at Madison Square Garden as the Leafs scrum the face-off. The puck knocked free for Tavares, played off the glass to center. It'll come to center ice, and the Rangers will play it back out into neutral ice. Got it to the line. That looked like it might have been offside, but no call. Back to the blue line and in along the boards, chopped to the line by the Leafs, and back out at center ice it comes. Andre Miller got it ahead, in on the right side, and Benoit got over there to take it away from the Ranger forward. Now tries to play it up on the boards and got some help to play it ahead for Nylander. Tavares couldn't get it out the next time. Now works against the boards diligently. The referee would get out of the way on the shot. We might be able to see where the puck is, and now we do. And it's around back of the net. Benoit will play it up on the boards. McMahon got it freed up, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson has to go back to retrieve it as he misplayed it. But he has it back of the net. Both teams are changing. 5:46 to play in the third. Right wing side for Domi. He'll play it on a bounce down into Ranger territory. Skipped along the boards by Schneider to the far wing. Cleared out at center ice. Quickly played back by the Maple Leafs, but not into the Ranger zone. New York now shoots it into the Toronto end. Back of the net for Morgan Riley. Riley with a pass ahead. Nice feed, and it gets to Pontus Holmberg. He muscles his way in over the line. Drops it back in a whistling drive. Is caught by Shesterkin. Domi got a lot of wood on that.
Yeah, that was a nice little drop pass. Pontus Holmberg gets into the Ranger zone on the left wing side. Pulls up. Max Domi coming late. Steps into one, but Shesterkin, his most difficult save of the period.
4-2 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hey everybody, I'm Andy Cohen. Hear me and my awesome lineup on Radio Andy. Andy Cohen Live.
Gail King in the house.
Jeff Lewis Live.
It's Me Jinx. The Sisters Live.
The John Hill
The
Show.
Julia Cunningham.
Here's What Happened Live.
Reality check. From pop culture, music to show-stopping moments.
Kelly Ripa. Ed Sheeran. Jennifer Lopez. Lil Nas X. Sir Elton. Do you know how many homes you have?
Yeah, I do actually.
Only on Radio Andy, Sirius XM 102, or listen anytime on the Sirius XM app.
The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months, I've been listening to hockey people warn the Sabres. Don't move on from Dylan Cousins. This is the one you'll regret. The fact that you're trading in division is amazing to me. This guy can come back and haunt you like every Sabre does. But If I'm an Ottawa Senator fan, Jake, I'm over the moon on this trade.
Points with Boomer Gordon. 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the Sirius XM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favorite club.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
The Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs trying to keep the pressure on the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning with a 4-2 lead in New York against the Rangers before heading off to Nashville for the game Saturday night.
They like the Leaf period so far. Big thing is, so you give up one at this point, you know you're buckling up for a bumpy finish.
Played in across the line, down into the Leaf zone. Tavares had it knocked off his stick. Riley takes it to the boards. Got it up on the wing. McMahon couldn't get it past the defense. Now engages the defenseman on the wall. Puck is in his skates. Fox is knocked down. Played to the blue line, but not out as it comes to the near side. Willie Nylander does a nice job of out-muscling his man. Carries it back in over the line. Drop for Tavares. Hat-trick in his sights, and his backhand went off his skate and went wide. We'll keep an eye on Shesterkin here to see when he might be lifted for the extra man.
Boy, that was Carson Soucy that Nylander was able to knock to the ice. I think Soucy thought there should have been a penalty, but that looked like a one-on-one battle.
That was, yep. Rangers in with Panarin. Panarin with a shot off a pad. Puck comes free. Leafs elevate it to center ice again. New York has to go back to organize. Shot right back in again. Around back of the net is Tanev. Tanev skates it out. Flips it out at center. Rangers get it again. Panarin shoots it right back in again. Slowed up by Stolarz. Stolarz in along the boards. Got it up on the wing for Nyes. Nyes is drilled from behind, but Matthews comes away out of the pack with the puck. Matthews across the line, flipping it into the left wing corner. 3:40 to play. Matthews wedged up against the boards. Kreider was able to get it free, and the Rangers will get it out at center ice. Again, a collision in the neutral zone. It is grabbed off and then shot in by Sam Carrick. Puck down into the corner. Carlo using his size and bulk to protect the puck in the near corner. Got it up on the wing for Lorenz. Lorenz gets it to an open man, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it to center and in over the line. Goaltender still in the net with a shot right on. Big rebound came in front, but David Camp was unable to get to it to get a return shot to the net. 3 minutes to play. Pass intercepted at center by Toronto. Leafs have to wait for teammates to get onside. Brought in, and a sharp angle shot is handled by Shesterkin. That was off Bobby McMahon, who had just come over the boards. 2:45 left, and certainly Shesterkin is going to get the wave from Peter Laviolette here fairly soon. And now he has, as we see on the screen, that the net is empty. The puck along the boards, and the Leafs trying to get it freed up. Tavares is out there. He has 2 goals, and Kreider will drop it back in his own zone. Kreider turning, Nylander chasing. Kreider got it away from him. Net empty to our right. Up on the left wing and brought in by J.T. Miller into the slot. A bouncing puck in front. Oh, and a save by Stolarz. He went post to post and spread eagled out there and got that right pad, or the left pad out in front, and made the save. Leafs can't get the puck out. Into the slot, a shot. That was poked away by Stolarz. Another couple of good saves with the Leaf netminder with 6 attackers on the ice for New York. Back to the point, just kept in. Fox walks the line, still with it. Far side, dropping it back for Miller. Miller on the near half boards. Zibanejad off the goal post, it went wide. Outside of the post. Fox back to the blue line. Still with it. Works to the right wing board. Dips it into the slot area. Zibanejad over on the far side for Miller. Couldn't get a one-timer. Fox lets it go. That was off a body and went wide. 1:20 left to play in the third. Leafs by a pair. Fox a drive. Knocked away again by Stolarz. Puck played up on the wing but not cleared. Tired group out there for everybody as it shot out and down the ice. And it'll go wide of the net and an icing call. And I wouldn't be surprised. The Rangers are going to do likewise. It happened the other night. They need a timeout as much as the icing to get their squad rested here for 1:07 left in the period.
As we look with the 1:06 to go, the Three Stars might be a little more difficult tonight than most because Anthony Stolarz with a couple of outstanding stops late here in this game to keep the Leaf lead at 2 is certainly got to be in contention. For one of the Stars, you've got John Tavares with a 3-point night, as well as Jake McCabe. Bobby McMahon, a goal and an assist. Willie Nylander, a couple of assists.
Well, I will also tell you that Chris Tanev has had a marvelous game on defense.
Yeah, there's no shortage.
Unfortunately, he doesn't show up. Well, neither does Jake McCabe, let's be honest.
On most nights, but 3 assists will do it tonight.
No, but that tandem has been outstanding. But Tanev has been blocking shots and doing what Chris Tanev does. 1:06 to go in the third period. And the Rangers did, in fact, have to take a timeout. So the Leafs benefit from that and will have the unit back on that they had initially to defend the 2-goal lead. That includes Tanev and McCabe.
Yeah, well, 5 of the 6 guys we talked about for Stars are on the ice right now.
Yeah, you're right. John Tavares will take the face-off.
Well, actually, all 6, because you mentioned Tanev.
Yep. And the draw scrum, the Leafs get it, poke it out at center ice. Unable to get to it, though, on a dive. And the Rangers will backhand it right back into the Toronto end. Stolarz out of the net to punch it around on the boards. Poke free. The Leafs can't make a attempt at the empty net. McCabe unable to trap it. Back to the point. One-timer blocked. Rebound cleared off a body to the near boards. Nyes works diligently at it. Tanev trying to get it back in the net was knocked down. Rangers get it back to the point. 36 seconds and they score. Rister from the blue line. Kreider letting it go. Finds the net to make it 4-3 with the extra attacker on.
This definitely hit something before getting past Anthony Stolarz. It was actually, Joe, I think it was Panarin that let it go from the point.
Yeah, you're right.
And it was Kreider off to the side. I mean, it looks like it was Kreider who is outstanding at doing this. Redirecting point shots, the 19th of the year for Kreider. And his first in 6 games has the Rangers within one of the Leafs.
He had a marvelous season a few years.
50-goal season.
One of the reasons why this team has struggled is that they've not been able to duplicate that.
What about 4 assists?
Yeah.
20 goals and 4 assists. If you're Tom Seaver, those are great numbers.
Leafs win the face-off and get it down into the offensive zone. 28 seconds left. The Rangers get it through center, and the goaltender will be heading out, but the Leafs intercept. Got it ahead. Poked out at center by Marner. 20 seconds left. To the blue line, rattled back out at center ice by Toronto, and Nyes chasing after the puck to get it deeper into Ranger territory. 10 seconds left. One of the Rangers blew a tire in front of his empty net. Cleared out in front. Matthews shot. That was blocked, but just 3 seconds to go. And the Leafs are going to go into Madison Square and come away with a victory. I think McCabe is apologizing to Anthony Stolarz for the late goal. But they did a marvelous job of shutting things down in the third period. And the late goal does not have an effect on this one. The Maple Leafs are going to win it by a score of 4-3. And the 3 stars brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game. Lease the CRV Sport from 1.99% up to 36 months. Visit OntarioHonda.com.
Well, I'm going to go 3rd star Bobby McMahon, a goal and an assist on the night for the Leafs, his 2nd goal in 3 games. 2nd star Jake McCabe. Not often do you get a defenseman with a 3-point night. He had 3 assists. John Tavares, almost third hat trick of the regular season. It would have been his 14th of his career had he been able to do it. But he is going to be star number 1. Special honorable mention goes to Willie Nylander, who had a 2-assist night and a great setup on the goal by Matthew Nyes. And Anthony Stolarz, I thought, was outstanding. A goal, gives up the late one. That sort of bumped him out, but stopped 27 of the 30 shots he faced and made some key saves, especially in the 3rd period.
So there you have it. The Leafs are winners again. 20th victory on the road. 87 points, which will keep them at least tied with Florida.
Florida's just won it in overtime. Power play goal against Columbus. So it keeps them tied. And Tampa gets Dallas tonight. They're in Dallas to take on the Stars.
So we will join you again on Saturday night. The Leafs will be in Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee. And we will bring you that action as the Leafs complete their road trip. Winners tonight, 4-3. Standing by are Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
It comes around every year. People begin to scramble for information. It's a beast like no other. And VSiN is here to help you.
What's up, hockey fans, not basketball fans. You're going to be basketball fans soon after March Madness is done, I promise. These games have sucked today. There has not been many games that were good so far. But the Leafs got the win, 4-3. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Big news. Go check out Leafs Jelly HD. His highlights, the best in the business. Okay? Hands down. We'll put the link out as soon. Mods, you can share the link as well. So, Mods, I need your help tonight because I have to go shut down Yale, and I'm actually going to do this right now because I know we went into break. So, we're going to put this bad boy in right here, and then we're going to switch it over to the stream ending soon because that game just ended. Moving people all around, sending people from one game, the Arkansas and Kansas game. Arkansas got the win after a tightly contested game. Sent everybody over to the Yale game that got a little bit tight there at the end, but not tight enough as Yale could not get close enough to Texas A&M. 80-71 is the final there for Texas A&M. The 4 seed gets the victory. All right, got to switch this thing over here to the ending soon. There we go. All right, let's go. Starting the Raptors stream soon. I'm not going to be doing any cool stuff because this game ended way too early. We'll let the post game run a long time. I'll probably actually let it run for a very long while. And then we'll send everybody over to one of the NCAA games that's good towards the end. We'll see you guys real soon. Thank you all for hanging out with us. I love the chat here. I can't even read it where I'm set up with all these things in the hub for March Madness, but it's a dream come true to be able to do this and to hang out with a group of people like you and to raise money for SickKids Hospital in Toronto. My mom, I know she's proud of me. And I am so proud of every single one of you. These moderators, this community, we don't take no crap here, okay? We don't mess around. Right is right, wrong is wrong. We leave it alone, and we all have a good time. And keep it classy. We'll see you back in the chat in one of these basketball games. Go Leafs, go. Cheers, everybody. Time to go refill that water. No drinks for me. I got a late night ahead. Remember, Jelly, link, mods, send it out because Jelly's got Jelly's got the best highlights on the internet. Period. No doubt about it. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you in the basketball game later.
Right pad, cleared out in front. Matthews shot. That was blocked for just 3 seconds to go. And the Leafs are going to go into Madison Square and come away with a victory.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. That's 3 in a row for the Maple Leafs. A 4-3 win against the New York Rangers at MSG, and the Leafs are hot.
Yeah, they are hard to draft up a better 4-day stretch for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A lot of noise coming into this week. Monday, they hammer the Flames. They get a 2-1 victory last night over the Avalanche, maybe the best team in the NHL or best performing team in the NHL right now. And then on the second half of back-to-back, going to Anthony Stolarz, who might be a little bit annoyed that, Joseph Wall seems to be getting bulk carries. Anthony Stolarz turns in a really good performance. 3 goals allowed on the night, but I'm not holding anything against him. I thought it was a good goaltending performance, gutty performance to win on the road second night of a back-to-back. And the back-to-back king, John Tavares, delivers with a big offensive night. Helped along by Jake McCabe and Bobby McMahon.
Yeah, 3 points tonight for Jake McCabe, 3 assists. And John Tavares gets 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points as well. Bobby McMahon with a goal and assist for 2 points. And William Nylander with 2 assists for 2 points. That line was dynamite. Also, Matthew Knies getting a goal as well for his 25th of the season. I thought it was a pretty great game from those top, I don't know, let's say 6-ish guys that we talked about. I would say the rest of them were a little bit more quiet, but this is something that I think you can be okay with because the Leafs have, always been core four, but maybe you can start finding some depth. I'm using depth as air quotes, but if you get Bobby McMahon contributing, you get some defensive contributions, Matthew Knies is on the score sheet, those are things that you're just going to take if you're in a 7-game series. It can't always be the top 4 guys. Yeah,
the Austin Matthews problem isn't that, hey, it always has to be him. They can win in other ways, and they won without Austin Matthews having a huge offensive night. It was just that, this was stretching on. So if one night it's Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, the other it's William Nylander, John Tavares, and Bobby McMahon on a second line, that's all great things. Maybe the matchup will determine who's going to have that breakout, and tonight it was Tavares.
Let's take one final look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
Okay, the Maple Leafs will not gain any ground on the Panthers. They won 1-0 in overtime over the Blue Jackets, who cannot buy a goal. Flames scored 4 unanswered, beat the Devils 5-3. Colorado got a 5-1 victory over the Ottawa Senators in the nation's capital. The Capitals held on, 3-2 winners over the Philadelphia Flyers. Montreal's going to drop 2 points here, it seems, or at least threatening to. Islanders up 3-1, just getting underway in the third period. The Blues have scored 2 quick goals to take a 3-2 lead over the Vancouver Canucks. That. Lightning, a big one for the Atlantic Division, tied 2-2, end of 2 with the Dallas Stars. It's a big game. Ducks up 3-1 over the Predators. LA up 2-0 over Chicago. End of 1, Sabres and Utah knotted at 1. And likewise with Winnipeg and Edmonton, 1-1 after 1. Still to come tonight. Boston is in Vegas, and Carolina will visit the San Jose Sharks.
Our next Sportsnet 590 The Fan Molson Leafs hockey broadcast is Tuesday night versus the Philadelphia Flyers. Scott Laughton revenge game coming in hot, 7 p.m. We will see you there.
Maybe that's the elixir for Scott Laughton.
I think it could be. I'll be betting it. Leafs Talk with JD Bunkis and Sam McKee is next. Thanks for listening to Sportsnet 590 The Fan on the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Often he gives you a little reminder of what he's got in the tank, and I think it was his 1100th point that he got tonight. That's a phenomenal career for a guy. That's like, that's rarefied air for any NHLer to get close to 1,100 points. And I just thought that he was buzzing from the drop of the puck until the end of the game. I thought he was excellent tonight. And, the first line, I wouldn't necessarily say had it for long stretches of the game. And I think Willie, him, and McMahon kind of carried the mail a lot offensively tonight. And I thought it was a really, really, really great game for that second line. So, yeah, it's really nice to see John Tavares still have these moments. He's having a great year offensively. There's still questions with him in terms of, the pace, and there's certain games where he really struggles. But once in a while, bud, he reminds you that he's got that dog in him still, and he was impressive tonight.
Yeah. It should be noted that Tavares now has as many goals as he had all season last year.
Yep.
Like he's
contract year, maybe.
What?
Contract year.
Well, it's just like, I will say this about Tavares. I do feel as though more than any other player, like as much as people get defensive about Nylander or people get defensive about Marner and Matthews play, whatever, like Morgan Riley, I'm not sure there's been a Leaf that's been like as productive who's ever been picked apart the way that John Tavares has. Like he's always looked at as like what he doesn't do versus what he does do. And I'm really not trying to create a straw man here. Like I don't think that this guy is loved by the market the way that someone with his production normally would be. Some of it's the contract, some of it's the fact that they've had the playoff losses. Like I get it, but it's just like John Tavares is the model of consistency. Like, I love my Kawhi stat, right? Where it's like, you look down at the box score at the end of a Kawhi night and you're like, he had 28 points and 12 rebounds and 6 assists. Like it's all because it's like on low efficiency. And I kind of feel the same way about Tavares year over year, where it's like, you look at the numbers and you're like, really? Like he's not a super flashy player. He doesn't get the headlines that the other guys get. And then you look down at the stat sheet and it's like, hey, this guy now in his career just passed Sergei Fedorov in goals. This guy now has, 29 goals in 62 games. He's an older player, provides a lot for this team, man.
I think it's funny that like you look down at his stats. It's like, he's probably going to have a couple less points than games played in every single season that he plays.
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean.
His numbers, like I remember I was going through it, looking at the splits against the teams that he's like played against, because I forget what I was looking at it for, but it's just like, point per game against everybody. It's like he doesn't own any team. Like it's just like every single team he plays against, he's a point per game. And I think, the perception of him, I would say this year, I would say it's probably the best it's been in terms of him having the captaincy removed. It went
up right at the beginning for sure, but then it dipped again and it did its normal thing.
Yeah.
You didn't feel that?
No, listen, we talk about the Leafs every single night. So like we're definitely had some criticizing nights, but like, in general, I think a lot of people have found a new appreciation for him after that. He's just having the exact same year, the exact same consistency, the exact same guy when his boyhood team stripped the C off his chest to put it on Austin Matthews, and it hasn't affected him in one bit. He hasn't complained one thing ever. Like he's just the most professional hockey robot of all time. Like he really is. Like even the intermission he does with Sean McKenzie, like you could have done any interview he's ever done. Like it could have been like from the start of his career until right this moment. If you put in the audio from any intervention, it would have been the exact same thing. Obviously,
you'd have no idea if he scored, if the team was going well.
Just Robo John. And, there's part of that I think is reflective of the way this team's been over the past few years, like the lack of rah or whatever. But there's something to be said for a guy in this market who's never made any waves ever with any soundbite, just talks to the media, says a million things without saying anything. So I totally agree that we're definitely, myself included, too hard on this guy. But it was just an awesome Johnny Toronto night tonight. Just fires it in the net a couple times, hammers them. I love the play he makes on the Bobby McMahon goal where he like wins it back to the point. And then, McMahon tips it in. The play he makes on the one that he ends up finishing, that he passes to McCabe. Like he was all over it. And you got to respect him when he was great. And he's the main reason they won the game tonight. It was awesome.
Yeah. I just thought it was like a very complete Tavares game, right?
Yeah.
Like good in the dot, some big draws, some good on the forecheck, the big shot. right? Like a little bit of playmaking, a little bit of hockey smarts, just a really quality John Tavares game. And I got to tell you,
the only problem with him shooting those ones and then having them go in, this is a cross-sport reference for like my niche Toronto Raptor fans, but remember when James Johnson used to hit a couple early threes in a game? You'd be like, oh boy, here we go. Like Johnny loves to shoot that long distance wrister and long distance clapper that never go in. And now that a couple went in, he's going to be just hammering them for a few games from up there. But it was good, good for him.
For a team that has not been getting enough pucks on net, I'm not going to complain about any shots going towards the net right now. And yeah, you saw it with the McMahon tip in where it's like, hey man, good things happen when you go towards the net, you put pucks on net. I got to say, you want one more? This will be our third cross-sport reference.
Yeah, let me have it.
Night. Shesterkin is the Le'Veon Bell of the NHL.
Okay. Explain.
Like, do you remember Le'Veon Bell held out for a year with the Steelers? And he was like, nah, I'm doing this for the running back market. And then the New York
I remember
Jets
that. I remember that well because I was pretending to be a Steelers fan at that point. And I was like, I'm passionate about this.
And then the Jets signed him and he was just, and like, listen, it was the Jets, but he was just immediately washed. And he was like, oh my God, he's so not worth the money. Shesterkin is tracking to be that for goalies where anytime there's going to be an absolute stud, the teams are going to look at it and go like, sorry, you want how much money?
How much did he sign? Was it 11.6 that he signed for?
Yeah, it's almost $12 million.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
11.5.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sure he'll bounce back and be fine next year, whatever. Yeah. But like, talk about a year where it's just a tough sell for goalies. Like Stolar signs a nothing deal and he's a stud. Yeah. Wool signs an RFA deal that even we were like, man, this might be a bit too much for a guy who's injured. Looks like a just sweetheart deal.
Yeah.
And then you got like Swayman who got paid, just cratered to start the season, couldn't find his game for months. Shesterkin put pen to paper and it was like, yeah. Anyway, I got
to tell you, that team in general, like we're not doing Rangers talk, bad vibes. Bad vibe. Like that team is hoping for Cabo. Like, I don't think they don't want to go into the first round against the Caps or the Panthers or whoever they're going to play in the playoff series. They are just not an invested group. And, they had a couple go in tonight. Few lucky ones, quite honestly. Like I didn't even
think body language team though, eh? Like
they didn't. Yeah, they all hate each other. Feels like they hate each other, right? Like they traded the captain. They traded the captain early in the year, and like they scratched Kreider. They traded for Miller, who's like a total grump dog, but like total grump. Yeah. It's just Fox is having an off year. Feels like every guy on their team is having the worst season of their career, and they just are hard to watch. God.
Yeah. Shesterkin, fourth cross-sport reference, reminds me of a starting pitcher who gives up, like the defense gives up a bad one. And the starting pitcher shows him up with the glove punch, like a lot of those.
Starts rubbing the ball. Like looking around the infield, rubbing the ball a little bit. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Fourth cross-sport reference of the night. Yeah. So maybe we'll get a fifth one. So yeah, really good Tavares game. And I got to tell you, I thought Nylander was solid too, but you and I privately, and yesterday I made some criticisms about Bobby McMahon's game lately, right?
Yeah.
And really, I mean,
rightfully so, bud. It wasn't like they were uncalled for.
Sure. But I was going to say, good for him tonight because the thing that we said remains true where it's like goes down the lineup, lose him, bring him up the lineup, notice him again. But the goal, I just love it because it's about the puck battle that he wins first. If we got this, wins a puck battle in the corner, kicks it back to the point, and then what does he do? There's 15 seconds left. He could easily just kind of be dogging it, not really paying too much of attention, goes right to the net, gets a beautiful tip, scores the goal. And I just thought, again, you notice his speed, but he's got that size. I want to see him win those battles. He can be an impactful player. And this is what it's going to take come playoff time, man. Those heady plays, those physical plays, and then the heady plays to go to the net and get a tip. So good for McMahon. Yeah. I think the second line found something tonight. You're right. It's against a dog Rangers team that some of it was hard to parse out when you were watching it over the course of the full hockey game, but love this moment for McMahon. Hope it's a bit of a breakout for him. He's obviously has had a good season. I think he's sitting at 19 goals now, 18, 19 goals, somewhere in that range.
Fantastic value on that contract.
Fantastic value, huge value. That's why he doesn't get caved in when he goes 15 without a goal because it's he's already gotten the wins above replacement essentially. But good night for him. Think that line found something and good for them because I was really at the point where I'm split up Nylander, Tavares. I don't know what to do with McMahon. I honestly thought he was trending to scratch territory, buddy. Like,
for sure.
That's really where I was with McMahon's game.
Well, I think there was definitely a sort of we're into scratch territory here now, where it feels like it's going to be a bit of a rotation. And coming into tonight, I think he would have been eligible in the rotation for a game. Like, I think he would have been eligible. And like, I think Robertson's been better than him recently. I didn't particularly love Robertson's game tonight, but
I totally agree. Yeah.
But like, Robertson's been better, been more noticeable, been like actually kind of aggressive, bit of an energy guy. But hey, how about another cross-sport reference if you want it? We can go 5.
Let's get it. Let's go for 5.
We're in the NCAA March Madness time. I felt like he's a bit of a floor spacer for them, like for that line where I saw Borny talking about it a little bit in the middle of the broadcast, just how like he backs off the defense with his speed, like the one play up the sideboards where he like immediately he goes up and everybody has to back off. And then there's just all this room in the middle of the ice for him to find somebody. I think you just kind of got to leave it. You just got to leave these guys together. And it makes your bottom 6 worse, no question. And we can talk about the bottom 6. Like that third line tonight is just not a good hockey line. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not a good hockey line. It's just not going to work. It's not, there's never going to be any chemistry between those 3 guys. It's just not a thing that works. But like having McMahon here is where you're going to get the most out of him. And he was pretty good tonight. So for me, keep him in this spot and let him space the floor for these guys, because I thought they looked awesome with him there.
Yeah, man. Like, if you just think about it, like a couple things that they can do, right? They're a dump and chase team. And so he's a guy that's got speed that can get to the pucks first.
Yeah.
He has the ability to like skate with these guys, to skate with Nylander. I've always felt like those two have had a little bit of chemistry when they've been put together.
Yeah.
And he's got a feel around the net. He's clearly got a shot. So when defenses are paying attention in transition to where Tavares is and where Nylander is, McMahon has more of an impact. Like, it's not a mystery why this guy gets lost when he's not playing with good players and then he's good with good players. Like, it's very, very easy to tell why he fits on that line. And so ultimately, I'm still not opposed to the idea of like having him play with Tavares or with Nylander and having a split there at some point. Like, we've just seen enough of Nylander and Tavares together where I'm not backing off my like no chemistry take just because they have a good night.
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, I'd love to see 3 lines for this team, especially given what you mentioned tonight. But yeah, I thought this was a really good step in the right direction. By the way, this is in the chat. Shima says, who missed Yarncroc? And I got to tell you, couldn't have missed a guy less. Third line was awful. And I'm like, I still don't.
Wouldn't have been better with him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Remember there was that little bit of buzz from Leaf fans on Leafs Twitter of like, Yarncroc's coming back. It's going to help balance. He's a real true professional. It's like, so far, it's like, what's been the Yarncroc moment?
Well, he scored that one power play goal from the middle of the ice. Don't pass, but that's it.
Yeah.
So we played that McMahon goal, the one at the end of the period. And it's a good chance to give some credit to Jake McCabe again, where that's just a perfectly heighted shot where a guy's going to the front of the net and it's not hard. It's not like, it's just a perfect sifted wrister right towards the sweet spot. And he's able to tip it in. And it's another excellent game from McCabe tonight. He ended up with 22-33, 3 assists. He was +1. He was on the ice for that one at the end of the game there. But
I thought it was a perfect pass to Tavares too, right on the rush. Like,
great
just put
pass.
it right on his tape.
And I'll say 3 hits tonight, 2 block shots in 22-30, 3 assists, like I said, +1. I mean, 2 unbelievably good games from this guy back to back. And like, I think there was a bit of a dip clearly when he's not playing with Tanev. And I think that's allowed because Tanev's the perfect complement to him and they just really work well together, and he's playing on his offside and all the different stuff he's asked to do with no Tanev. But when Tanev's in the lineup and these 2 guys are playing together, McCabe is hugely important to this team. He was awesome again tonight.
It's the other thing too. Like, I think we might have mentioned this even last night because he's played so well, but just Tanev really does allow him to show off the little bit of offensive chops that he has too, right? Like, he plays way more aggressive when he's on his natural side, obviously, but he's got a little bit of game there, right? Like, he's not a jobber. He's not a chopper. He's got some offense to his game, like more than Tanev, like,
for sure.
That's pretty clear. So I love that pairing. I think it's great. I've mentioned this to you a million times before, so this is tired, but you know, you grow up and you play in net and you get like really accustomed to like who's on the ice and how you feel about when they're on it. It's like the calming effect of when McCabe and Tanev are out there together. It's just like ultimate security blanket. It's like nothing bad's going to happen because these guys are out here. Like,
yep. No, they're
-2 to start. Like, like something bad's going to happen. Can't get it clear.
I was just looking at the ice times at the end of the game. Was there a couple rotations without Riley? Maybe not. It just felt like they put Oliver Ekman-Larsson out there with Carlo a couple times. But they sometimes get their pairs jumbled up. So maybe I noticed
a couple.
Yeah,
like they put with them a couple of times.
This to me is something that towards the end of the year here and into the playoffs you're going to watch. But I don't think they're going to play Riley at the end of games, and I don't think they should. They should maybe start to consider diminishing his role a little bit. Like they've tried to get him involved. They've tried to get him involved. They've tried to like do the offensive thing and jump him up. And like, he just doesn't have the boots. Like on the first goal of the game for the Rangers, he has time and space to skate out. Old Riley's getting on his horse there. And he just jams one up the board straight into traffic. No chance, no hope. Then he's stuck in mud in front of the net, almost screening his goalie. Like, we've talked a lot about Riley this year, and we were trying to build him up when he really improved on that Western road trip and like before the Four Nations, but it's gotten back down the other way again here, bud. And like he to me, he should be in the 16-17 range coming to playoffs, especially with the way that they've filled out this decor. It wasn't pretty tonight for me with him. Wasn't pretty at all.
So the second one, it's like pucks on his stick, time and space.
Yeah.
And
Was the second one? My bad.
The second where he tries to flip it up, like just in the air, gets to the blue line, doesn't get it out, like not good weight.
Yeah.
And you and I have been hammering this point all year. Like Morgan Riley's big defensive play is just throw it out. Yeah. Icing. Throw it out. Get it down the ice. And it's like, again, nobody's Cale Makar, right? Like Cale Makar is Cale Makar. But you watch that Colorado game and how many times it's like, this guy has crazy wheels and crazy handling, and he goes and he collects a puck, and you're thinking like, hey, it's going to be hard to go and catch him and to close the gap when he's got a little bit of area in front of him.
Yeah.
How many times do we see that with Morgan Riley? Like ever. Like where he collects a puck in the D zone, and he's able to like wheel away from somebody and then just like pulls it out and starts to drive offense forward. Like it's so less frequent than it has been in years past. And we've talked about Morgan Riley year over year being like one of the best athletes on the team, one of the better athletes in hockey. You look at like his metrics in the gym, his box jump, all this different stuff. It just hasn't been there for me this year, man. Like he's lost a step. This is not just like a confidence issue. He's always had bad gap control. That's been his thing forever. He's never been a cycle killer, but he's always been a guy who has elite wheels. And I'd actually like to see it, like the Sports Logic tracking numbers in terms of like the foot speed or the top end speed. I'm sure like the top end stuff maybe still close, but average speed or whatever it is, it's just like it isn't there, man. Like it's not. So I'm with you. Like I don't want to see him on the ice at the end of games.
No.
Like I really don't.
No. And especially because
I'd way rather see Oliver Ekman-Larsson close with
and
like,
with Carlo or even Benoit with Carlo. Like it's just like I just at some point here it's not going to turn around. And like you have to stop kind of playing it like it's going to, where it's like, oh, he'll figure it out. Maybe he won't.
Yeah. That being said, I can't wait for playoffs where he's a stud and we just look like complete idiots. He's like
I'm happy. I'm happy to do it. I do it every year.
Of course.
I'm happy to do it. But like, I don't think it was nearly as good in the Bruins series last year as it was in the year before when they won. Like anyways. I don't love him on the end of games clearly, and they I don't think that they do either. So Carlo to me doesn't spend any time in his defensive zone. Like you're trying to watch him get hemmed in, and I guess he was on the ice for one of the goals tonight where he was trying to box out in front, kind of screen the goalie, but he's rarely on for anything bad. Like he's just zeros across the board every night. I'm just looking at his stat. This is the Carlo hat trick. Zeros with 3 blocks and 3 hits. That's
he's an expected goal scorer king right now too. Like every night you look at the underlying numbers and it's like, they're
good fancies with him.
Always good fancies. Like
Yeah,
he's had,
that's
I think he's had good fancies probably in every game, maybe outside of Colorado, because like how could anybody, not the second Colorado game. I mean, like the Colorado loss.
Yeah.
I thought Stolarz was solid tonight. Didn't like the rebound control early. Thought he settled into the game. And then I thought he was just like vintage Stolarz. And just makes the goaltending like, I don't know why people are like convinced who it's going to be right now. I really do think that this is a wide open battle.
Totally
I've said it before. This has been one of the best goalies in the entire NHL this season. To be like, it's Wool when he's put together a couple of extra wins, I think is crazy. I thought he did his job tonight in terms of like continuing to make this a thing and keeping it hard on the coaching staff.
Totally agree. And like, it's March 20th. It's not April 20th. There's a full month before the playoffs start. And can we just say that it's fantastic where the Leafs are in terms of their goaltending situation? Because regardless of who you put in there, you got a great chance. And you wouldn't have been able to say that for many years or many teams in the NHL. Like how many teams in the NHL have these two guys? Like guys that are this good, both options. It's a pretty rare thing to have. And like if gun to their head who they would want to take it and run, I think it would probably be Wall because he's the guy they've given the longer term contract to. But Stolarz has been excellent all year. And, both Borny and Kipper on the show today were saying they're Wall guys. I'm fighting the Stolarz fight. Like I haven't seen enough from him over the stretch to be like, I'm done with it. Thought he was pretty good. Made some big saves tonight. The one I didn't like, the kick out onto the stick, the rebound, like you mentioned, but good night, good win.
It was tough, but it was in the context of like, I thought he was struggling with rebounds earlier in the game before that goal. And so it like looked worse to me, even though that was one of the tougher ones to handle, but just, I didn't like his rebound control early in this game. I think that he was pretty pissed that they let in the third goal too. Like that they sort of went to sleep a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
Because you could tell that
Kreider's so good in front of the net with those tips. That was a beautiful tip.
Awesome tip. And by the way, we were rolling these highlights of Stolarz. The thing that I was going to put this in rapid fire, but it's like, man, Shesterkin, I mocked him, but that pass that he made tonight was
amazing,
outrageous.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was Erik Karlsson stuff from a goaltender.
Yeah, it was an amazing pass. Yeah,
it really was.
Yeah,
I really do believe that out of everything, that was by far the play of the game.
For him, for the Rangers, that's for sure.
Well, I thought for both teams, I'm like, what was the most impressive thing tonight? I'm like, that's Shesterkin pass, no question. I rewound it like 3 times to watch it over and over again. It was brilliant. Anyway,
so next thing I wanted to bring up with you, Nyes. He scores the goal tonight. Beautiful shot. Like
25 goals,
wide open. Like good Lord, good coverage in the middle of the ice, wide open, hammers it home, rips it. I got to tell you, like. That stat they said in the broadcast is pretty eye-opening. The 25 goals and 115 hits. Him, Tkachuk, and Tom Wilson are the only 3 guys in the league. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
That's very good.
That's good company. Like, those are the 2 guys you would dream of him coming close to replicating. Like, he's never going to be Brady Tkachuk, clearly. Like, Brady Tkachuk is just a different animal. Tom Wilson's way, way tougher and scarier. But, like, if he can become a poor man's version of those 2 guys, you are so thrilled with his development, and he has been awesome this year. A couple down stretches throughout the year for sure, but in general, he's had a brilliant year, and he's playing on the top line. He should be producing, but the 115 hit, 25 goal plateau, and like I said, those 2 other guys, that's really impressive.
So I was not aware of that stat. Obviously, like that's a great stat. Awesome pull by the stats team to rip that one out there. Somebody was sitting on it and waiting for him to score that goal, and they're like, tweet, because that one was going to get some interaction. Here's what I was never under the illusion of, though. And like, you watch a lot of hockey, I watch a lot of hockey. There's not a lot of Matthew Nyes out there, brother. Like,
no, there's not. There's just not.
There are. I already deeply appreciate what this guy is, and like, he's not going to be Tkachuk and he's not going to be Wilson because he's not nasty like those dudes.
No.
Like
he's not going to drop anything to fight anyone ever. He doesn't have that in him.
He's not looking for that, right?
No.
Like obviously he's not afraid, and that's why I love that moment where he just absolutely filled in the face against Vegas.
Oh, White Cloud. White Cloud, the guy who hit him up high earlier in the year.
Yeah. White Cloud hit him up high, and he took a number, and he waited all season for a spot. It's like, I think he could do it because he's a big old mutant with a like, man, you look at his neck. I don't think that you could land a lot of punches.
He's a college guy. He thinks he's a goal scorer. He's a college guy. He's not like, he wore a cage his whole career. Like, he's not gonna go out there and try to fight.
He's not a nasty. He doesn't have the mean streak of like wants to hurt somebody, but he wants to bang somebody up. He reminds me more like of a Gronkowski. Like he's a big dumb American football player type, you know, like that's what I think about him. Like the big old jock. The other guys to me are like hockey player, mean goon types. Like Brady Tkachuk was raised by a pro hockey player who was mean with a brother who's mean. Like
big old meanie family.
Yeah, big old mean family, the O'Doyles, basically. And like, Tom Wilson's a big burly Canadian guy who grew up playing in like, GTHL and just nasty player. Nyes isn't going to be that, but I love him for what he is, which is like, he's the jock. He's the big, like hunky jock who goes in the corners, isn't afraid, totally fearless, like not afraid. Six sport reference, because we mentioned Grok, but it's like, he's your big tight end that's not afraid to go over the middle. And like, he can pass block, but he's not going to like take the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty, ripping somebody's helmet off and getting
like Brady is.
Like, exactly. So it's like, he's an awesome player to have. I'm very curious. Again, I know people hate contract talk on the show, but I've seen some numbers float around now where it's like, 6.5. And I'm like, God, you'd be happy on that number. Like he'll make you feel fine on that one.
Yeah. But does he have to be 8 years? Can we keep one guy hungry? Like, does like it have to be an 8-year contract for the big money? Like, I don't know. To me,
no, I think that the six is like going to be because it's like, anyway, I think it'll be like a bit of a shorter term deal, but like we got some people saying like he's going to get 8x8, but I'm just saying that people I've talked to are.
Would you do 8x8?
That's a lot.
I would.
Here's the thing, man. Again, he's a unique player, but like, it's tough with the guys that play with Marner and Matthews. Just because like year over year, they always dominate. It's like they've had Michael Bunting on their line. They've dominated. Like,
Hyman
the only guy that couldn't do it was poor old Nick Ritchie. He's the only guy on planet Earth that couldn't shape with those guys. Couldn't put up any numbers. I'm just saying, like, do I think he's like worth it? For sure. But do I wish we would have seen him like drive a line at one point? Like, and you should get paid if you're an awesome complimentary player. Not saying that you shouldn't, but just like,
eight's a lot.
Eight's too much. No, eight's crazy stuff. Like the one guy in the chat saying that's slav money. It's like, you can put the stats side by side, but like that guy was what?
In the first overall pick.
His first overall pick. I was going to say, it's like Matthew Knight is still a second round pick. Like it's different strokes kind of things. Anyway, I think that's it from me.
I got one rapid fire thing. And I asked the guys to call this. We don't talk about the refs on this show, but I do have a reffing conversation that I'd like to have with you. If you could play the clip of the penalty that Nyes got late in the third period, I guess halfway through the third period. Like, listen, this game was really sneaky physical, and guys were battling all night. And I thought it was an excellent standard. Like there was no calls, and I like that. I like it's like let the guys battle out there. If a stick falls out of a guy's hands, it shouldn't automatically be a penalty. Hold on to your stick. You're trying to dance around two guys. You got your stick out like this. He comes down on the stick. He's not in the hands. Like, hold on to your stick. This is not a penalty. I hate that, and it happens every night I watch hockey, where the guy's holding onto his stick flimsily with one hand, and you make contact with it, and it falls out, and it's automatically a call. It's a tight game with 10 minutes left, and you call that? I hate that call. And it's not even just like this one. It's like, hold on to your stick.
Yeah,
not a
that
penalty.
One. Listen, again, I don't talk about the refs, but like, didn't love that call.
Hated it.
But I have a theory about it.
Let me have it.
I think the refs were bored. I think they were like, I think that seventh cross sport reference of the night.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes when you're watching a UFC fight and the guys get up against the cage and they're like doing grappling.
Yeah.
Okay, and you hear the commentators and they're like, grappling is part of the sport. This is like a big moment for the fighter.
Yeah.
But the crowd starts to boo and the ref starts to be like, do something, guys. And then they keep grappling. And he's like, all right. And he breaks them up.
Yeah.
And I felt like the ref was like, this third period is atrocious and it's boring and something's got to happen here. Oh, next thing that was even borderline, bang, that box.
Got to tell you right now, our king, Kelly Sutherland, would never have called that. He would never have called that. He would have dove in the way to stop the stick from making contact.
No, he would have picked up that Ranger stick and he would be like, pass it.
I'm open.
Come on, Nicey, I'm open. Yeah. Oh man,
I don't know. I hate that. And when a stick breaks, these flimsy $400 sticks that are just like made of nothing, they break so easy. Like if you hit on the stick, you hit the middle of the stick, and it falls out or breaks, it should automatically be a penalty. Drives me crazy. So, yeah, anyways,
all right.
That's it.
Couple quick things. One, did an interview with Gary Roberts today. That was great, and I highly suggest people go listen to it, especially
his
for
answer about Tanev almost made me cry. So,
what?
His answer about Tanev almost made me cry. So,
man, so when you go to Gary Roberts' homepage for his training center, Tanev is the banner player that's on.
Oh my God, that's all you need to know. Lifetime contract.
Yeah. Like, so when I was doing my research, I'm like pulling up, going through Robert's stuff, and I'm like, open up his website and bang. So obviously we talked Tanev, we talked Sid, we talked about Battle of Ontario, talked about the Draper scrum, the little fight. It's great. So yeah, again,
from the Winter Classic. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but he's like, yeah, I haven't been invited back to an alumni game. I was like, no.
Yeah, listen. You get guys in those situations, it's like the old boys, the competitiveness comes out. It's like you can't help yourself. Loved it.
No, it's great. It's great hearing him talk about it because he's still got that, man. Like he's a killer. He's in his 50s and he's still a killer. Anyway, so you can go subscribe to the JD Bunkis podcast. You can go listen to that interview there. I highly recommend it. It was really, honestly, every once in a while I get to do one where I'm like, damn, that was really fun to do. And like you finish it and you're like, yeah, you know what? This guy impacted my childhood.
Yes. This guy was extremely important to me. Triple overtime
truly.
Against the Sens. Bang. Like, yes.
I would say that in terms of free agents that left the Leafs, Cujo will always be one because like I told you, my friend told me in a grocery store and I went and cried in the car. I cried in the car when Cujo left. But Gary Roberts, when him and Nieuwendyk went to Florida, like that was number 2 of just like, that was an all time, what the hell are the Leafs doing moment? Like not just giving both those guys the money.
Yeah. I hated that too. Hated them in those jerseys.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was.
That was just like that was the pipeline. All the boys who were sick of Toronto are like, I'm going to Florida. It was a pipeline for a little while there.
No, but you remember what it was? It was like they both wanted the same deal, and the Leafs were like, "We'll give it to Roberts," and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to Florida. Like, give it to Nieuwendyk," and they were like, "No," and then both guys were still good. And
I remember very well. I remember.
Yeah, this is the organization that when Gretzky wanted to play here, they were like, for how much? Like, just so embarrassing.
What was the other thing? You said you had a couple things. What was the other thing?
Oh, no, I was just plugging that. I was saying, like, subscribe to this podcast, do the same things. If you're a YouTube watcher, we ask you hit thumbs up, but we also ask that you subscribe to this podcast on wherever you get your platforms. Even if you watch it religiously on here, it really does help out the boys. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Sammy McKee. I'm off my podcast tomorrow. You got anything to plug for Real Kipper and Board?
I know off the rail Fridays as usual. Doug McLean, and we do our Leafs line. So if you're watching this, I can actually tell you the number: 416-413-4141. Call in, and if your take's any good, I'll put you on air. So and I've been catching some heat from people that are calling. It's like, oh, if you're not from Ontario, you put them on, and I'm like, that's true. Like, if it's like guys like, I'm from Japan, he could have like the worst take ever. And I'm like, you're in. Like, you called in from Japan, you're in.
I'd be roasting you too. That sucks. Put the Ontario lads on. What are you doing?
I put Ontario guys in clearly, but like, if somebody calls in, I put them in.
I don't care. Here's what I got to say. Patriotism's back. Canada first. Canada first, buddy. Canada first. Elmows up. Canada first. All right. That's the show. We'll see Tuesday?
Saturday against us. Preds.
I don't even know what day it is, man.
Saturday against the Preds. The Preds. Who scheduled that? Great for bachelor parties. March Preds in Nashville. It's a great bachelor party night. Horrible night for us to watch a hockey game.
Sucks too.
Right.
I had if Luke Shen wouldn't have gotten, I was like working things out, and they were like, "Oh, we're playing Toronto," and I didn't even think about the deadline. They were like, "Yeah, all right, we worked this out. He'll come on the show." I was like, yeah, great. And then it was like, oh, right, he's traded. This is done. And you can't get anybody from the Pens. Like, you know what happens when you email the Pens when you're from Toronto?
He's on the Jets now.
Yeah, where'd he go? Yeah, Jets. But I was like, I forgot they scooped it, but I was like, I was like, damn it. Dubas strikes again.
I wouldn't say the old Penn's PR Toronto radio pipeline is a big
No, it's not. They're not cooking anything up for the fellas.
No, not a lot of unreplied emails in those inboxes.
Haven't even gotten a sniff. Anyways, we'll see you Saturday night against the Preds. This will be a low event game. We'll see you then.
For the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a... And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi...
Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Head over to SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, for the best hockey talk.
Match to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Former Colorado Avalanche chairman and CEO Charlie Lyons was on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91, with Steve Kouleas to discuss what it was like successfully keeping Joe Sakic in Colorado in 1997 during a chaotic 7-day time frame.
That all this, Charlie, comes together in 7 days. Like this isn't one moving part. Like if we get the Fox deal done, it's done. If the movie does really well, we'll borrow from the future, even though that wasn't the best thing, as you alluded to, from the movie company. Or the mayor says, yeah, we're gonna do that. Like they could have said, it's August. We'll talk after Labor Day. So what's incredible, everybody knew, right? That you got it done that quickly, which is almost, it's hard to do one deal in 5 business days, let alone the 7 you dealt with.
You know, in the movie business, I make this point in the documentary. One of the things that keeps an audience engaged is if the clock is ticking. You know, find the person that's been kidnapped, disable the bomb, stop the terrorist, get to the stage on time so you can get up and do your stand-up comedy when the audience is waiting. The ticking clock makes people realize we don't have time to screw around. We got to fix this and do it right now. So that was, in many ways, as miserable it was for, and particularly with my team, because I had a great team, you know, but they did the heavy lifting because in essence, we had to do everything on handshakes. You're not going to get everything documented, but you're talking about the most honorable parties on earth, the mayor, Fox, Liberty Media. When they shake your hand, it's gold. And so we got it all done and here we are.
What was it like this is 1997, so no e-transfers. What was it like to tell the Rangers, to quote a song, to take this and shove it? Who made the call and said, by the way, here's the check for Joe Sakic, bye-bye, NYC?
Well, Pierre went to Joe's house and delivered the money. I got up with Liberty and Fox and the mayor at City Hall, and we announced the arena deal, Fox and Liberty. And we were coordinated. It was choreographed. And then I was a speechwriter when I was a kid. And I had the blessing to do some work for the the governor of New York when he was vice president, Nelson Rockefeller, and he had that famous picture where he was being heckled and he offered his opinion of that. And that picture of him flipping the bird was, I figured, a nice gift to send Dave Checketts, who was a good friend of mine, by the way.
I love it. I never knew that. I love it.
Hear it all on demand. Your favorite shows, your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Thursday, March the 20th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., New York Rangers take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Rangers on XM221, Internet 938. Leafs on Internet 946. 7 p.m., New Jersey Devils take on the Calgary Flames. Devils on XM220, Internet 936. Flames on Internet 923. 7 p.m., Columbus Blue Jackets face the Florida Panthers. Jackets on XM222, Internet 927. Panthers on Internet 931. 7 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Capitals on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 950. Flyers on Internet 940. 7 p.m., Ottawa Senators face the Colorado Avalanche. Senators on XM 219, Internet 939. Avalanche on Internet 926. 7:30 p.m., New York Islanders face the Montreal Canadiens. Islanders on XM 223, Internet 937. Canadiens on Internet 934. 8 p.m., Nashville Predators take on the Anaheim Ducks. Preds on XM 381, Internet 935. Ducks on Internet 920. 8 p.m., St. Louis Blues face the Vancouver Canucks. Blues on XM 207, Internet 944. Canucks on Internet 948. 8 p.m., Dallas Stars take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Stars on XM 206, Internet 928. Lightning on Internet 945. 8:30 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks take on the LA Kings. Blackhawks on XM 380, Internet 925. Kings on Internet 932. 9 p.m., Utah Hockey Club takes on the Buffalo Sabres. Utah on XM 205, Internet 947. Sabres on Internet 922. 9 p.m., Edmonton Oilers face the Winnipeg Jets. Oilers on Sirius.
What's up, everybody? All right, Leafs fans, how we doing? Time to see if this is working here. I need to get out of all of these apps and get off of this iPhone because, man, I'm using it for this testing thing for the new YouTube Create app for Apple. Yeah, that last short for promoting our Bracket Mania pool, which I think we got 40 entries, which is insane. I never had that many in my family bracket pool, so thank you, insiders, for that. I put that one together on that app, so cheers, and hopefully I'll snippet this. But I need to check first. While this, I am going to snippet this. That game is starting soon. I got to go to the channel and see because we are live right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still here, give me the big pink wave. Give me the big pink wave in the chat if you're still here. Carmen, I see you. There's Brad. There's the Burninator. Who's that as well? Sandra Berube. All right. I love it. We are live right now with UNC Wilmington versus Texas. Just started that live. The Raptors are live right now against the Golden State Warriors. UC San Diego is live against Michigan, and we're going to send everybody from this live right now over to UC San Diego and Michigan. We are also live for Omaha and St. John's right there. Utah State and UCLA there. There's our Leafs game right here. Leafs fans, I love you. Let me check the chat here. Is anybody else? Is anybody even here? No. No pink hands. All right. With that being said, it is time to oh yeah, I have that halftime recording as well. Hey, you. Yeah, you. If you're still watching this at the end of the stream, I can't believe this. What a day we've had on March Madness. And I just have to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much to my amazing wife, TSI Allison. Allison, I love you so much. You are a rock star. Thank you for your help with this tournament, getting everything going, getting all of the stuff figured out in our life. God, I'm so happy I picked you. We'll talk to you soon. Leafs fans, TSI Allison, I love you. My family, all my kids, Grandma, I love you so much. I am going to call you tonight once this calms down and after I figure out what we're doing here in a little bit. Once I just calm down and put all of these streams to bed, shut things off, start other streams, move things around. Here we go. Go Leafs, go. Big win, 4-3 Rangers. Get the loss. Leafs get the W. And we get another 2 points. We're heading to the playoffs where we are once again. I will announce this on stream. We will be donating 100% of our SickKids hospital, of our revenue. See, I got to just stop this and save this as just an Allison recording. Cut this up. Stop recording. I think somebody's here in the chat. Is somebody here in the chat? How drunk are you, Mike? Dude, burn. Bro, I am not drunk at all. I am not drunk in the least bit. This is oh shit. This is water. Okay, I am just high on life. This day has been insane. It has gone extremely well. And I just, I'm just so damn happy to be alive right now. Never stop chasing your dreams. If you are, it doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter, that doesn't matter any of it. It just, I am a dad of 4 kids with 2 jobs. And I was coaching my kids' soccer games on the sideline, and I'm like, I need to be able to listen to the Leafs game. It's Saturday night. I got to listen to the Leafs game. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to do that by listening to the radio broadcast in my ears. So here we are. So, I'm going to check the chat after I turn this camera off because I see it moving here still a little bit, and I'm going to shut this bad boy down and send everybody over to the Michigan versus UC San Diego game because it's still doing better than the St. John's and Omaha game, which is actually a really close game. Omaha only down 6 to St. John's. All right, I'm going to shut up and end this stream. We'll see you guys later. Good night, everybody. See you in the other streams. Head on over to one of these other streams. Cheers.
Sharks on XM219 Internet 942, Hurricanes on Internet 924.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
In the summer of 1997, had 7 days to figure out how to keep Sakic. Stopping by SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on Channel 91, Lyons was on to talk with Steve Koulias from the Power Play about his initial reaction to the news of New York offering Sakic $15 million up front in their deal.
I remember the summer of 1997. The Rangers have offer-sheeted Joe Sakic. It's a 3-year deal, $21 million, $15 million up front. I remember that part. Joining us now is Charlie Lyons, the Avs CEO. The big honcho at the time joins me on the Power Play. So where were you, Charlie, when you first heard the news? Did you fall off your chair?
Well, I didn't fall off my chair, but I left my heart in San Francisco. The phone rang. It was Mark Kisla, who terrific journalist that was always sort of